You're about to watch another exciting episode of the Dungeon Run, but did you know that you can actually be part of the adventure? Tune in live on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and you can make your voice heard and help determine the fate of our adventurers. Hope to see you there.
Greetings and welcome to The Dungeon Run, a live tabletop role-playing game where your interactions help tell the tale. I am Lord Ereban, the Keeper of Secrets, and I have brought these adventurers together and set them on an epic quest to decide the fate of the world. When they found my amulet, it gave them the key to unlock the mysteries of Ain and allowed them to communicate with you, the Watchers of the Time Stream. Now you have the power to help or hinder them as you see fit. If this is your first episode, fear not. Our Dungeon Master will catch you up on everything you need to know to jump right in. And you can always watch past episodes by visiting our YouTube or listen to the audio version by searching for The Dungeon Run wherever you get fine podcasts. The Dungeon Run is made possible through the generous support of our patrons. Bonus shows, special content, and more is available when you become a supporter at patreon.com/thedungeonrun. And join the incredible Dungeon Run community by visiting the official, unofficial Discord at thedungeon.run/discord. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does make a difference. But now, sit back, relax, enter the world of Ain, and let the dice roll!
It's the Dungeon Run, and tonight it is part 2 of A Town Called Ricochet, presented to you by myself, Ron Ogden, the DM. With me, as always, is our cast of characters, Katie, Jared, Morgan, Erica, and Michael, all playing different Western-style D&D characters this evening. And I just want to say, welcome everyone, thank you for joining us. And Morgan, let's get right into our top of the show stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey everybody, as most of you probably already know, we are a show that is mostly supported by Patreon. So if you are not a patron of our wonderful show, please visit patreon.com/thedungeonrun and find all the cool stuff we're offering over there. We do our weekly show, The Dungeon Cooldown, where this week Ron and Katie talked at length about this very two-shot, which you're seeing right now. Lots of cool insight there. We just released our second episode of our new interview series, Arcane Artistry, hosted by Ron and Jared. And actually, that's available for everyone to see now. And this one was with designer, writer Sean Merwin of Ghostfire Games and Wizards of the Coast. He's worked on Grim Hollow. He worked on Descent into Avernus. He's a very, very impressive individual. But yeah, we have all kinds of cool stuff going on there, and it's a really cool way to interact with the community. So thank you to all of our patrons. And here on Twitch, we're very grateful to all of you gifting subs and bits. It's really amazing. We're seeing all of it happening. Thank you, everybody. We love you. Feels like applause. As a reminder, there are no there's no force of good, force of evil battles here tonight. So there's no potatoes or
there
yams.
are no bullets.
There are no.
I was like, no. There's
zero
bullets.
There's lots of bullets.
Lots of bullets.
There's plenty of bullets.
But no, we are just doing advantages and disadvantages here for the two-shot. And but everything will be back in full swing next week because we are coming back right before Thanksgiving for episode 101. Jeff and the gang will be back here, and I know there is a much anticipated force of evil coming for all of us. So we'll see how that goes. But once again, we are extremely grateful to be joined by Michael and Erica, so thank you both. They, both wonderful, talented people and players. Is there anything that either of you would like to plug? Erica, you're on so many shows, I can't keep track.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm Erica Femina. You can find me across all social media at AStylePixie. I stream on my personal Twitch channel. I'm a variety streamer. I tend to do that weeknights at 7 p.m. And I just wrapped up Cherry Hill. If you want to go watch all those VODs for a horror contemporary 5e game, and hopefully we'll be doing season 2 soon.
Cool.
Also part of Girls Guts Glory. I think that's everything for now.
That was the longest think I've ever heard. Michael, I know you've got lots going on, including empty bookshelves behind you. You're moving.
Yep. Yeah, so my name is Michael Sinclair II. I go by Michael Crits everywhere. So I'm a tabletop role-playing game performer.
Michael
Crits everywhere.
It sounded like it's Michael Crits everywhere.
I go by at Michael Crits everywhere.
Whoa. And so I'm in a couple shows. One, Second Star to the Right, a D&D game that takes place in Neverland. I am in Feyforge Academy, a D&D podcast that takes place on the Feywilds in a school in the Feywilds. I'm in Into the Motherlands. We wrapped that up the season, so you can check out new VODs on that. And I'm in Let's Get Wild Mount, and I believe you can watch that content on Critical Bard's channel or YouTube. And then on my own personal Twitch channel, I play Magic the Gathering, so I'm also Magic the Gathering personality of sorts. If you like Commander, I was on Game Nights, and then there's going to be an episode that drops eventually on I Hate Your Deck. So that's me.
Amazing. Yay. Thank you so much. And that's, I think, everything. I think we're trying to stall a little bit, honestly, because we're afraid after what Ron did to us at the end of last session. Actually, I think that's the end of our show, because if memory serves, at the end of last week,
we are all
dead.
dead.
So in case anybody was...
That's been the Dungeon Run, everybody. Sean Becker.
Oh, he's done that to us once before, and it was equally as hilarious.
Good night.
Well, if that's everything for this evening, then I just have to shoot it over. Who did it last time? Was it Michael or Erica who did it last time?
Erica did. Yeah.
So, Michael, if you would, please let Sean know it's time to light the torch.
Hey, yo, Sean, turn that torch on.
It started with a simple mechanical bird. Flew thousands of miles from the savagery all the way to a town where 5 Zed Mining Corporation Z Riders waited for their next orders. When the bird arrived, they heard a message from one Jedediah Goodson, and it deposited a small yellow crystal that the 5 soon learned was highly precious and very powerful. They made their way to the savagery, to a town called Ricochet, newly set up by one Breachheart Blaze, a brass dragonborn investing in the Zed Mining Company, all under the auspices of one Jedediah Goodson, a recently bereaved son of the owner of the Zed Mining Company. 1/5 in line, in fact, to take over. On their way, they stopped at a campfire, and we learned of one of their previous adventures, where there was a twinkling on the back of a saddle of a horse. During that time, Ambrose, a cursed warlock, was visited by their patron, Anya, the hag in the mist. That night, as Al realized that they were surrounded by evil and there was this feeling of being watched on all sides, Anya visited Ambrose and gave him one clear directive: find what's in the mine. The next day, as they traveled to Ricochet, they discovered some interesting new technology left by one Granger Greesh, a goblin of some renown, now residing in Ricochet as its general store owner. As the Thumpers, Greesh's Thumpers as they were called, the party learned that these Thumpers were meant to keep out dangerous animals from the area. And as they rode towards Ricochet, gunshots rang out and echoed in the distance. As Al rode quickly forward into the town to figure out what was going on, a man lay dead, shot once in the finger, once in the heart, and once right between the eyes. Al, jumping off of his horse, attempting to save the man, was greeted with some apprehension, and the man's body was carted off behind the tavern. Soon, Breachheart Blaze exited the tavern and let everyone know everything was going to be just fine, and drinks were on him. Trepidatious, the group entered the tavern, but not before speaking to one Johnny, a stable boy, recently saved by Breachheart from an attack that killed his parents from a recent pack of bullets. Suspicious of Johnny, the five entered the tavern and learned that Breachheart Blaze knew of their coming, was prepared for them, and offered them the opportunity to save the town and learn of Jebediah back at his mine. Quickly, suspicious of the crowd, they moved as the sun set towards Jebediah's mine. Upon arriving and realizing something was strange, they were ambushed by an unknown number of assailants. Not just any ambush, an ambush that completely annihilated Johnny in one fell swoop, and annihilated the rest of them using a new explosive known as Composition Z, invented by the Zed Mining Company. It was Ambrose who survives the blast, and as he attempts his one last ditch effort offered to him by his patron Anya, the undying warlock attempted to save himself and move on. Unfortunately, that last showdown resulted in Ambrose's unconsciousness. And that's where we find ourselves now, in the pitch black. Nothing remains. Our heroes are dead and gone. And as the darkness and silence continues, one voice can be heard. Ambrose, please join me in the secret room.
Right into it.
Ambrose, you find yourself aware in an empty space, and you hear, Ambrose. It is clearly your patron calling. At first, it sounds very, very far away, too far for you even to reach. But again, her voice reaches out. My beloved. There, now it is closer. As if she is there, as if you can reach out and touch her. And all you must do is that.
I'm going to reach out. I don't know if I see her, but I'm just going to will myself to reach out and try.
You realize that your hand is there, that you have a hand, and as you reach out in the darkness, that you're in an empty space. And as you reach out, your vision returns. And you can see that you're in a cave. And outside it is dark, the sky sparkling with stars. Still, the savagery. The smell in the cave is musty and old, and something moves to your right.
Can I see? Oh, go ahead.
Nope, that was it.
Can I see what's going on over to my right?
Make a perception check for me.
Okay. That's how I'd like to start the night. That is a 19.
That is very surprising. You open your eyes and something feels wrong, as if you only have one eye. And as you begin to make sense of the area around you and clear the blurriness from your remaining eye, you see there's a hag, a dark hag, a night hag, digging in a dirt pile quickly, seemingly searching for something, throwing gross bits away from what they're digging out of the ground, finally going, aha! Turning to you, carrying what looks like a single occipital bone. She moves closer to you, gets down on her haunches, looks at you, don't move, and brings the occipital bone to your face. What follows is excruciating pain, as this hag begins to rebuild the part of your face that is missing from your last encounter. Your entire left eye and most of that part of your face, as you realize and start to wake up and get more of your faculties, you realize that entire part of your face is missing. And that's when you see her at the entrance of the cave, floating as always.
You live, my beloved. My avatar of vengeance. Did you miss me?
I do now, and am I actually living?
You cannot die, my love. I promised you that when you were cursed with me. I promised to show you power you have never seen before. Now it is witnessed. You, my avatar. I have a story to tell you. Would you like to hear it?
Seeing as I don't know where I am, I guess I'm all ears.
The town of Ricochet, and
she looks off to the left,
is but 3 miles in that direction. You've been in this cave for a few days now, while my friend assists you. Ambrose, do you remember Taz?
Yeah, I sure do.
I imagine you couldn't forget the person who's responsible for my curse upon you. Did you know Taz has killed a few of my followers?
No.
You being the latest.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that Taz is the one that orchestrated that ambush?
Exactly what I'm telling you, Ambrose. It is why I brought you here. I found him and wanted him dead. I didn't know and was unable to see his treachery yet again. He has help. You will have help. But first, I have a question for you. But let me tell my story. There once was a man named Jedediah, and he fell in love with a girl. Her name, Gemma. Working in the executive part of the Zed mining company. My implant. Follower. Mine. Gemma learned some interesting things and began to tell me what was going on. Did you find it strange that Composition Z came about so quickly and came about with such precision? I found it strange. And so I looked into it. And what I found was a mine and a town. But a town not called Ricochet. I found a town called Blastmark. Here, Ricochet, it's not the first to exist. This mine has been around for many years. The Zed Mining Corporation has been covering its injustices, killing those it wishes and covering their deaths as just monsters taken by the savagery. When I discovered this, I had Gemma fall in love with Jedediah and sent them here. Breach Heart Blaze followed them. Taz followed them. And it was Taz, Breachheart, and Grandeur Greach who murdered her and Jedediah in cold blood because they found out she was mine. Again, thwarted by Taz, first killing 2 of my followers many years ago, leaving a child you know as Sam. That same Harangon man, Taz, killed her parents, that killed you, that killed Gemma, that killed Listina, the one who cursed you. Now, I demand, will you be my avatar of vengeance, unless I find yet another to do my bidding?
You don't need to search any further. I said I was your avatar, and I will continue and find Taz.
I hope you understand this means you may have to get a little rough around the edges.
It'll be done.
Good. I shall send help soon. Rest, my avatar, my beloved. Soon your curse will be lifted, and you can love me of your own free will.
She dissipates as if she wasn't there to begin with. Now we move back into darkness, out of the secret room. All right, to keep this short and sweet, because I don't want to do a secret room with all of you.
Wow.
Ambrose, if you will do me the small favor of removing your headphones so that I may speak with the others.
Oh.
I'll give him a thumbs up when we're ready. The rest of you find yourselves also in a dark space. Jefflin. Suddenly you awake in a tavern, no less.
Samantha!
Sitting at a table. In front of you, a man with a black mask, a large cowboy hat, a duster, dealing some cards. He's got a cigar in his mouth, and for some reason, the light in this room hides his eyes from you. And you hear him ask a simple question. Vengeance or justice? He deals one card and he flips it over. On the other side of that card, it's a 4 of diamonds. But the picture on the 4 of diamonds is one of Jefflin's own invention. What did you call it?
The Little Sizzler.
The Little Sizzler. It's just an old cartoon drawing similar that you might find in the 1800s, a kind of a pencil sketching of it. He turns over a 4 of diamonds, and then he turns over a 6 of diamonds. And in that 6 of diamonds, you see what looks like another pencil drawing of a goblin. He flips over the 8 of diamonds, and on the 8 of diamonds, you can see what looks like the Zed Mining Corporation logo. All of these pictures drawn in crude pencil. He flips over the 10 of diamonds, and on the 10 of diamonds, you see a shell company owned by the Zed Mining Corporation, whose CEO is Granger Greesh. He flips over the ace of diamonds, and what you see is Granger Greesh, a picture of Granger Greesh tinkering with your invention. And as you stare at the ace of diamonds, you see that invention, as if the drawing is animated, be delivered to a family at their home. Cuts a slice of bread, slips it in the invention, presses the button, and then there's an explosion, and the card dissipates. In front of you are 2 cards. One with a picture of scales, and the other a picture of 2 crossing swords. The man in the cowboy hat lifts his face, and you can see his eyes, and they glow a bright yellow. And he says again, "Justice or vengeance?"
I'm not much of a card player. Justice.
Sal, you wake up. Again, everything seems normal. In a tavern, a man across from you with a mask, a cowboy hat, a black mask, and a duster, dealing out some cards. In front of you, he lays out the 4 of hearts. And what you can see is your own silhouette, a drawing, just like Jeffelin's. And in that drawing, a darkened, shadowy silhouette of yourself. The 6 of hearts is flipped over, and on there you see you and your brother fleeing 2 shadows. He flips over the 8 of hearts. You see a drawn picture of you and Al arguing over something. He flips over, I just said the 10 of hearts. 8 of hearts? 10 of hearts.
8 of hearts.
He flips over the 10 of hearts. And on the 10 of hearts, you see you following Al through a portal. And as he flips over the ace of hearts, you see that shadowy figure jump through the same portal. And then that picture begins to animate. And what you see is that shadow has been following you and Al since you've come to this plane of existence. In front of you are 2 cards. One with a picture of scales, the other with crossing swords. The man in the cowboy hat looks at you, his eyes glowing yellow, and says, "Justice or vengeance?"
Are we allowed to ask any questions?
You may ask whatever you so please.
All right, so is our personality going to change differently with which we choose?
Oh.
Just our goals?
Yes.
Because I gotta be honest with you, I don't have much trust for Justice.
Then
I've seen it lots.
Your choice is vengeance.
Well, I think it is. I just want to make sure I maintain myself. I don't want to be scary.
Justice or vengeance?
All right. Am I dead?
Yes.
But I'm not going to be dead?
That is correct.
Wow, this is really not what I expected. Okay, are you God?
Justice or vengeance?
I gotta choose right now.
Yes.
Okay. I like that hat on you. I'm just honestly, I'm gonna follow my gut. I'm gonna choose vengeance.
Sam, you wake with a start. Your body full, totally all together, everything there, nothing missing. In front of you, a tavern, a table, some cards, a man in a cowboy hat with a black mask and a duster, unable to see his eyes. And you hear him ask, justice or vengeance? He flips over the 4 of spades, and you see a picture of an herringon man in all black and white with a cowboy hat looking down a sniper rifle. He flips over the 6 of spades. I said spades, yes? Clubs,
Yeah.
spades,
He
spades.
said spades.
Keep forgetting who's who. Spades, a 6 of spades, a picture depicting your parents walking down a street with you holding their hands between them. He flips over the 8 of spades. A bullet traveling, speeding towards your parents is depicted. He flips over the 10 of spades. That bullet strikes not only your father, but also your mother, killing both of them. He flips over the ace of spades, and you see a picture, a drawn picture, move as if a movie was being played. And it shows you growing up in your orphanage, learning what it means to be Shantytown Sam. In front of you are 2 cards. One, a picture of scales. The other, a picture of 2 crossed swords. He looks at you, his eyes glowing yellow, and asks, justice or vengeance?
After seeing all that, Sam looks up at him. I make my own justice. And she grabs the vengeance card.
That leads us to our final choice. Al, in front of you is a man wearing a cowboy hat, and all around you a tavern, and then it goes dark. Suddenly you're transported to what appears to be a very large vortex floating in space, almost as if you are super close to a black hole, suspended all by yourself in the darkness. You can feel her, the Empress. She's watching. And you hear one lone voice.
Justice is the only way.
And you're transported back into the tavern. In front of you, a man with a cowboy hat, yellow eyes staring at you brightly. Justice or vengeance?
Where's Sal?
Justice or vengeance?
I just want my sister back. You tell me which card to pick, and I'll pick it as long as she lives.
Justice or vengeance?
Al lets out a really long sigh, closes his eyes, and clutches for his holy symbol if it's there.
You feel a warmth go through Al's body, and you hear a whisper.
Just.
He opens his eyes. May the Empress guide and protect you. And then he grabs the card. Justice.
And right before you grab the card for justice, he grabs your hand and he says, and may she also be with you. Suddenly, all 4 of you awaken in a cavern, in a mine. Around you, tools of the trade, pickaxes, TNT, a variety of things now collecting dust as if they've been laid there mid-work. Staring at you from across the way, there is something in the dark.
Roll perception?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how far away is it in the dark?
I cast
Roll
light.
perception.
Everybody?
Immediately as Al
cast light.
reaches for light and casts light in the darkness, everything is illuminated. You had dark vision before, so this dark figure was actually covered by dark clothing that they're wearing, and it's
Got
a
a
tall,
dirty
lanky
20.
man. Sal,
Lanky man.
couldn't remember your name. Sal.
Yeah.
I apologize, everyone.
Yeah,
I have been
sure.
having some
You're doing great. Doing
headache
great,
this
Kirk.
morning. Thank you. I got a booster this weekend. Or this week.
Ah.
Yeah, woo, get your vaccinations. Sal, as you look around the room, you notice that all of you are there except for Ambrose. And the person across the way that's looking at you appears to be very tall, lanky, and almost appears to be like the man that was playing cards with you a moment ago. He stands tall, still as still can be, 2 guns at his hips, staring at you from the other end of the mine hallway.
How far away?
60 feet or so.
I'll make my way towards him.
As you get up, your legs fail you, and you sit back down a bit.
I play
and
it
you
off
notice-
like I meant that to happen.
And as you're falling, you notice and you look downward, and you realize that there appears to be a very large yellow gem embedded in your chest.
Oh.
Sal,
That's new.
you got kind of a weird thing in your. Oh,
Are you all right,
think-
sister?
Oh, I meant to do that. I was gonna do it, and then I changed my mind. So yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Everyone else good?
what's the last thing everyone remembers?
I just remember a big explosion.
I remember Samantha and I inside the cabin, and then everything went white, and then everything went black.
And then we were I was in a tavern.
Wait,
and
yeah.
I think that guy was there.
Oh yeah.
Kind of looks like that guy. Are
Were-
you God?
Are you a card dealer?
They call me Jedediah.
Oh,
We have a
Wait.
friend named Jedediah.
I
You
know.
You don't look like him though. Right?
And he does
I
not
was
look
gonna
like
say.
the dwarf that you remember.
No, yeah, he was a dwarf. Yeah, no.
He looks nothing like the dwarf that you remember. The tall, lanky man with the cowboy hat looks down, removes his mask, and as he removes his mask, his form begins to change, and he shortens slightly to the size of a dwarf. And standing in front of you appears to be what looks like a zombie, but skin isn't falling away. It's not rotted. It's more of a lack of warmth than a lack of color. His eyes glow yellow, but beyond those descriptions, he looks exactly like the Jedediah you know and have loved.
I'll try to get up myself.
Your legs also don't seem to work quite yet. And he says, you might want to take it easy for a couple of minutes.
Where?
What happened, Jetty?
You've been murdered.
Right.
That sounds right.
So that
Your
was
lives are over.
Okay.
Oh,
real. Are we still dead?
And as you begin to check yourselves and look yourselves over, certainly enough, those of you who have chosen justice, your skin feels normal, bright, warm, just as if you were alive as every day. But
feel
something feels different. Something feels in your chest. And as the rest of you look, all of you, including Jedediah, have what seems to be a small yellow gem embedded in your chest.
Does it look like the gem that we got out of the bird that we broke last night thinking about sad things?
Very much so. Very much so.
If we think of sad things, are we going to explode?
No.
I mean, again?
Yeah, that's just your point.
Don't want to do that.
We've got a job to do. And I've been doing it for a month now. I'm glad you're here, but I'm sad that you are.
Where's Ambrose?
We have a problem.
Okay.
Okay. A bigger problem than the fact that we're all dead?
Guess it is a matter of subjective quality.
Okay.
Ambrose is alive.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, good.
Well,
Good for him.
That's good, yeah.
In a way.
Oh.
Okay.
Did you all know that he was being controlled
No?
By who?
by Anya, the Hag of the Mist?
I mean, some things about him seemed kind of, dark sometimes, but I mean, controlled by a Hag of the Mist, I don't think that, no?
I guess I always thought he was pretty nice.
No, yeah, no, he was wonderful. He's Ambrose, but no, I didn't controlled. Wait, when you say controlled, I mean, he seemed always like himself. He was drinking horse beers with the rest of us on the way over here.
Mm-hmm.
You find it odd that he was the one that suggested you come here so quickly?
Not really. To be
Insight
honest.
check.
Hmm?
Okay. Do I have advantage or disadvantage?
You have straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
Ooh, pretty good though. 19.
19, as far as what he just said, he believes that's true.
But I don't think that's how that happened. I think I kind of make eye contact. You see Jefflin's like brows furrow, and he looks at everybody else.
Ron, can I attempt to cast a spell?
Absolutely.
I would like to try to cast Detect Evil and Good.
Absolutely. Let me pull up that particular spell. Just read it over real quick.
You detect all of us.
For the duration, if there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, there's a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. There are, if you chose Justice, please raise your hand. You identify as celestial. If you chose Vengeance, the other two, you identify as undead. The other person, Jedediah, is too far from your range in order to feel whether he is any of those particular types. Around you, the place around you, this place feels both magically consecrated and desecrated.
Okay. So what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that what does that have to do with Ambrose? Are you suggesting that he set us up?
No. I'm suggesting that Anya led y'all into a trap.
I could make an argument that you led us into a trap. You're the one who told us to come here. You're the one that told, and the minute we showed up to your house, we got blown up real bad.
He seems to be impacted by what you just said.
Was that you shooting someone in the main street of Ricochet yesterday as we were riding up?
He deserved it.
Well,
he
then why?
Deserved it.
You could have said something to us then.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Didn't know it was you.
Can you just quickly, I do think there's a lot to get to the bottom of, but what is the problem that you said we have?
Breach heart.
The mayor
has convinced the Zed Mining Corporation that my death was an accident, and they are continuing to use this mine. They're sending more. I've learned that the Zed Mining Corporation and my brother, Paul, have been doing some questionable things on the side, including sending people to their dooms knowingly in this desert. And he looks around the cavern. What I didn't realize at the time was these crystals, they ain't just magic. They're alive. And now it lives in us. And he looks down and he opens up his duster, and sure enough, clear as day, in the center of his chest is a yellow shard.
All right.
When night falls, I will lose my control, and I will seek vengeance.
That doesn't sound good.
Is that what's gonna happen to us?
I can only assume.
Okay, so you lose control.
Sun begins to set.
Is it still night outside right now?
It is currently. As far as you can tell, it's dark in here, and he says, yes, it's dark outside right now.
This is the mine underneath your house?
Yes, except many miles away. In fact, and he looks up, directly above us is Ricochet.
Okay, all right. Well,
it is, Sal, as you were looking around and noticing what was going on with everyone else, you notice a couple of things also in the cavern. There appears to be what look like veins of gold, certain metals in where you're currently situated, and in one corner, on the opposite end, just beyond where Jedediah stands, there appears to be some yellow shining crystal in a similar fashion of a vein in the wall.
Does it match what's in our chest? Is that what you're saying?
It does look like the same. It has the same quality, the same shine, and the same shape. In fact.
Jedediah.
Yes.
This what they're mining?
It's what I was mining.
But it's not what they're mining.
They're coming after it. I've been able to keep them away. It's why they brought you.
all right. So Blaze needs to be stopped from continuing mining.
He also has evidence that the Zed Mining Corporation has been knowingly sending people to their deaths.
Why would they do
my
that?
Intention. I don't know. That's the part I haven't been able to figure out quite yet.
Well, I'd like to find Ambrose also. I wherever he is, I mean, if he's being controlled, okay, but maybe we could talk to him and figure out together, you know, you're asking us to suspect someone who's been a friend and, you know, fought side by side with us for quite a while, so.
I know it's difficult. I didn't exactly wake up and understand everything myself. I'm only a month ahead of you, and I have not learned the extent of my powers just yet. But I suspect, now that I know it was you riding into town when I saw you last, you've seen a bit of my power.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Only
fast.
assume- Yes. I can only assume y'all are the same.
Great.
Now, I'm going to go into that town and I'm going to kill whoever I can to get the information that I need. Are you joining me, or are you going to go run off and find Ambrose?
Oh, gosh. Going into town to kill everybody sounds kind of intense.
You do as you please, but I got a thing to do.
All right, can we have like a team huddle or something like that? Like it feels like there's a lot of information here. We got to get on the same page.
The Jedediah puts his mask back over his face and he grows back into that long, lanky human being. Arcana checks.
Sure.
If you are proficient in Arcana.
I am.
Oh,
I am not.
I got a nat 20.
Oh.
Dang.
I don't know if I'm proficient in
Also, just so everyone knows, Katie, you have advantage on that roll from Lily Dumblestuff fan.
Aw, thanks.
Samantha, you said you were not proficient in Arcana?
No, in fact, I have a -1. So.
Oh, all right. Well, I will save this one for you then.
I'm not proficient, but I have a +1 and I rolled a nat 20, so.
You know what,
I don't know.
Erica, it don't have to be proficient. If you have Arcana, roll Arcana. If you want to roll Arcana. Erica, you have advantage from Kildarin.
I don't know.
Shit.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I got a
I'm totally
21.
okay with you saving it. 21, and you got a nat 20. What's your total, Katie?
21.
21. You both almost immediately recognize what appears to be Disguise Self with a modification, considering he can change his size.
Yeah, he's much taller.
Much taller. About half as
Okay.
much more tall.
Fancy.
I guess that's cool.
All right, but come on over here.
All right, so we need to make a game plan because it feels like there's a lot going on.
If you need me, I'm going outside. I'm going to get my horse ready.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
There is a pathway that leads off to the left, and there's one that goes off to the right. He takes the pathway to the left and disappears.
Look, I know Jedediah is an old friend of ours and everything, but he seems different. I mean, I know that's an understatement, but
Yeah, I don't know. I do feel uncomfortable that Ambrose is just not here.
yeah, I don't. And he's trying to. And Jedediah is trying to say that Ambrose is behind this, or working for the person behind this, being controlled by the person behind. I don't quite understand that, but
I'm very confused because I thought that we got blown up by people who were working with the guy that is now Jedediah. So I don't know what's actually happening. And maybe we should just find Ambrose and find out.
I think we got blown up. I think if what Jedediah is saying is true, that we got blown up by Blaze and the Zed Mining Company, who are our employers. So that's weird.
Yeah, that's a weird. There's got to be a company policy about that.
That's a business plan that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any
feel
sense. It's like a human resources violation. It got to be.
Someone's hiding something from us.
I mean, yeah, that's yeah.
You know?
Really. Al, do
But-
you have any insight on this?
Al's been praying this entire time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
that
I'm so
tracks.
sorry. Never
No,
mind.
yeah.
Never
I'm
mind.
also casting a spell, Ron, but it takes
Yeah.
me 10 minutes to cast it.
Okay.
All right, Sam, what were you saying? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It is a little fishy that Ambrose isn't here with us right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, He gave us a choice. He said, come with him into town and start killing, or go find Ambrose.
Look, I chose vengeance, and I still don't want to just go straight to town and start killing people. That feels
yeah, no.
off.
You only kill people who deserve it.
Yeah,
You don't
thank
just go
you.
shooting up the town.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not how it works.
That's how
and you're
vengeance
the
gets a
one.
bad name. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I say we go get Ambrose.
All right, I like that. Regroup, figure out a plan. Should one of us stay with him, though? Pointing at Jedediah.
Al?
No,
or
it's with
Jedediah?
Jedediah.
I don't know. I feel like we stay together.
All
It
right.
might be a bad look if we show up with him.
Okay,
Yeah.
but we should be fast, because
I agree.
I think he's gonna get to real
Killing.
bad business real fast.
Yeah, it seems like he's on a mission to kill,
Okay.
like pretty fast. So, got a timeline.
All right. Well. Okay.
Al, about this time, your spell is cast.
So I know I can't physically get up, but I drew a circle in the dirt around me, and then I take out a small gem, and I take my. Do I have my shovel? Is there a rock
Yep,
nearby?
you
Okay.
seem to have all of your items as if
Okay,
before
I'm gonna
you were-
take
Thank goodness. I was worried.
the blade end of my shovel and slam it into the small gem that I have, shattering it.
Okay.
I'm ritual casting divination, which is where I get to ask my god one question. Al is going through an existential crisis at this point because his sister chose vengeance. So she essentially now represents everything that he hates. But at the same time, it's his sister. So
Family's complicated.
yeah.
You're casting 4th level divination.
Yeah. So the
as a
question,
ritual.
yeah. So the question that he asks the Empress is, I don't believe in rage killing, but I do believe in righting wrongs. My question to you, my light in the darkness, is who is directly to blame for our cursed condition? And I realize this is another question, but is there any way to reverse it?
Not so easy, is it, Jared?
So I want to read for those playing the home game. Yeah, divination is your magic and an offering put you in contact with a god or a god's servants. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The GM offers a truthful reply. The reply must be short, phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. This spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells or the loss or gain of a companion. If you cast the spell 2 or more times before finishing your next long rest, there's a cumulative chance that something might go wrong. The GM makes this roll in secret.
Yeah. So
your response. Go ahead.
My question.
Clarify your question for me.
Yeah. My question to clarify it is, if we seek retribution or justice on the person that is to blame for our condition, will it reverse the curse?
Okay. The response, now it's a reply in a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. So let me do this.
Cryptic rhyme, Ron.
Cryptic rhyme. Okay.
Please,
I'm kidding.
Please don't hurt and furt Ron. That's not fair.
Well, hey, it was requested. I feel like I have to do it now.
I'm sorry. I'm not selling you out.
Justice or vengeance, either is best. The cause of the curse lies embedded in your chest. Was that a cryptic rhyme enough for you?
It's pretty cryptic.
Yeah.
You all right, Al?
No.
Can we stand? I'll try to get up.
Make a strength check.
Oh God, I'm not good.
When
at
I
that.
see him trying to do that, can I cast Healing Word on him?
Absolutely.
See if it has any effect.
Absolutely.
It's a mighty 3.
You struggle, and it almost feels like your muscles are atrophied, as if they haven't been used for a very, very long time.
It's plus my spellcasting modifier as well, so it's not just the 3.
Oh no! I rolled a 3 for my strength check.
Oh, I
Thank
see.
you. Yeah.
I thought you were rolling your healing.
No. Well, yeah, that's actually a very good question. Does death count as a long rest, Ron?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes.
It's the best rest.
Death and resurrection certainly count.
The best rest
is a long rest.
Oh, okay.
So do I see if Healing Word has any effect on his body?
It washes over him, and sure enough, his legs seem his muscles seem to warm and stretch and begin to get their used to them, and he stands up without issue.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, Al, your connection to your god is in full connection.
I'll reach down to Sam and try to help her up.
Sam, make a strength check with advantage
because I'm helping
from Kildarin.
Oh, that's right.
Well, my first roll was a dirty 20. Let's see if we can get this crit. Nope.
Nope.
Dirty 20 it is.
Dirty 20. Yeah, I mean your muscles still feel atrophied and not a whole lot of use, but you're able to kind of wobbly stand yourself upright and start to move things. It feels very much like your body hasn't really been used for a little while.
How long were we dead for?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Real good question. Al,
Why'd you do it?
why'd I do what?
Why'd you choose vengeance?
Because I don't really much trust justice.
You're cursed, sister.
I don't look at it like that, but I respectfully disagree.
You trapped your soul inside of your body.
Well, I think you did too, just in a different way, right?
No, it's not the same.
Okay, again, I respectfully disagree. I think we can still be friends. I asked him, and I asked God or whoever that poker player was, and he said my personality's not going to change.
That wasn't no god. You
Okay.
talking about the man in the hat?
Well, it seemed like the man after I died who I talked to. So I guess, God's a little bit subjective depending on, I'm just using it as like a phrase. It doesn't not be your God.
I saw the vortex, sister.
Right?
I saw the light outside of the vortex.
Right.
That's why I'm here. Wasn't that man in the mask? The Empress brought me back.
Okay, well, did you not see the man in the mask?
I did, and he
And
asked
he
me
gave
to
you
choose
a
card.
choice, right?
Yeah.
So you made a choice and he brought you back.
But why would you choose vengeance?
Well, I told you I don't write much as justice. Justice, I feel like is a fancy name for we can get away with whatever we want. That's been my experience with it. And I'm telling you, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not judging you for choosing it. It's right for you. It's not right for me.
I don't know how I'm going to get you out of this.
Well, I don't want to get out of it. So please don't try.
You want to roam the world as a cursed, undead, unholy creature?
I feel like you're putting a real negative spin on it.
Your sole reason for being here is to kill, to murder.
I don't think so.
Well, why else would you be here? And look at what happened to him. And he points at Jedediah. He's consumed by his own anger and hatred and rage. I know you, sister. I know you. You got a good heart.
Thank you. I think you do too.
I can't wrap my mind around this.
Well,
we're
go ahead.
we're together now, and for the moment, it said we've got our own free will about us, so it doesn't. I don't know. I think there's a lot to learn, but we need to find Ambrose.
Yeah. I think we're all on the same team here. It's just different approaches,
Yeah.
Right? Same vengeance, and look.
Yeah, I picked vengeance. But to be honest, that's how I've led most of my life, so... No, sometimes we just gotta make our own justice, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Did that guy, to the rest of you, get into, like, any other, like, deeply personal stuff that...
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some tricky cards that he pulled out for me.
That was, like, some cards that, like... Let's, get into that later. It was like a therapy session, really. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't ask to be therapized, you know?
No, yeah, you should always get consent before therapizing somebody. It's true. Can we go?
Yeah, let's go
All
find
right.
Ambrose.
We will return to our secret room with Ambrose now. Everyone else, please.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Ambrose, back in your little cave, the night hag finishes her procedure, and it is probably the most painful thing that you've ever gone through. As you stand up and kind of use a piece of metal to see the results of the procedure, she has essentially rebuilt that part of your face to make it look a little bit less gaping hole and more skeletal structure. And as she pulls back, she looks at you and says, my job's done. She said she would return when I was finished. I'm going to leave.
Thanks for making me pretty.
Oh, you're welcome. I do quite enjoy the work that I've done. If you need anything, you know who to ask. And she bolts out of the cave into the night, cackling as she does so. And it is moments later that the mist again appears from the night, and you hear,
Ambrose, are you ready?
Yes.
There's one thing we must do, rather you must do, before you bring vengeance to Breach Heart. There's a little matter of a lone cowboy. I'm afraid he might try to steal my revenge. Could you handle him for me?
As long as this gets me to Taz, I'll handle it.
Taz is in town. And all I care about is that you bring him to me. Keep him alive. I want to watch him suffer.
And it'll be done.
Yes, my beloved. You may find them at the mine where Jedediah was doing his experiment. He thinks I don't know that he's there, but he is. And he's there right now. I can't be seen around with you, so you will have to be doing this one on your own. I suspect he can sense when I'm around.
Well, I've been getting along without you for a while, so I think I'll manage.
Think you will. I know you will. So proud of you, Ambrose. Now, find this lone cowboy. Make sure he doesn't ruin our revenge.
and the night, the mist dissipates into the night, leaving you alone in the cave. At the mouth of the cave, you notice there is a horse being... Notice that Anya was there as she was talking to you.
All right, I'm gonna take a look to the horizon before I hop onto the horse and make way for the man.
The horizon, the sun has set mostly. It's still just in the final touches of light in the distance, and the sky is a beautiful purple with oranges as that sun begins to no longer touch this side of the planet. And you make your way to the mine. Yes. All right. Let's take us back to everyone else. You can keep your headphones on, Michael. We're back in the cave with our undead celestials. For the time being, we will call them the Fervent. So the Fervent.
We like Hell's Angels, actually. No, I'm kidding.
Hell's Angels. Ooh, I like that. Hell's Angels.
Undead celestials, Hell's Angels.
So you just completed your discussions among yourselves, and I assume that all of you begin moving towards. Remember, there are 2 exits to the cave. There's one on your left and one on your right. Left leading towards where Jedediah went, and another direction to the right.
Oh, what? Are we able to tell where the other one goes?
I mean, as you look down that hallway, you see that it descends quickly downward.
Further down into the mine.
Did he imply by any chance whether that's the way that Ambrose was?
He didn't imply. He made it seem like Ambrose wasn't here at all, but maybe elsewhere out there he had seen.
I think that's further into the mine, and I guess, but doesn't sound like Ambrose would be there. I think he'd be
Up. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
All right, let's go up then, right?
Jedediah.
Ambrose, as you begin to ride and get closer to where you know the mine is, you get to the spot and you realize that this part of the mine has completely collapsed because, as you recall from almost being completely exploded, there were a couple of explosions that went off in this area, and at first it's kind of hard for you to even recognize the area that you're in, except for the very large crater, and in fact multiple craters. And as you kind of survey over the land, you do see at the very bottom of the crater there is that what looks to be like a collapsed rock face, almost like there was a hole or a cave here that had collapsed. That seems sort of untouched, really. It almost as if it was what was underneath the wooden slat before the building was completely destroyed.
I'm gonna, looking at the craters and stuff, I'm just gonna all right, I was gonna hop off, just like having phantom pain of looking at the craters, and I'm gonna hop off and maybe journey down into that little crater.
As you begin to walk into the crater, the sand here is very soft, so it's that descending of a very large sandy dune kind of down into it, and your eyes begin to adjust as the starlight and the moonlight it fades as you get deeper into the bottom, and you realize that there's a slightly new addition to your eyesight, in that you can see through stone, and that you can almost see the stone that's covering this appears to be, from what you can tell, about 3 feet thick. Would take you quite a bit if you were to try to dig it out, but you can see that there's a long hallway underneath the sand that travels in the westerly direction.
Okay, and is there a wall and then the tunnel, or I have access?
Yeah, it's the collapsed rock that you're seeing through, and then that tunnel begins beyond that crashed rock in a westerly direction. You're pretty sure that if you were to kind of move in a westerly direction, it might lead you to another.
I will do so.
Make a survival check for me.
Sure. Yep. Michael rolls are back. 5.
Make sure you don't have advantage or disadvantage. You are straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And you said your roll was 5?
Oh, yeah.
As you climb the mountain, climb the back up to the crater, you start to look around, and you start to realize that maybe this cave doesn't necessarily move in a straight line. But luckily, even when you climb this particular, you can just see the top of that particular cavern move in the westerly direction, and so you begin to follow it. Okay. And it takes you a little while, and just as you begin to see what looks like a large rock formation that might lead to what you would assume is a cave, you see that there is a man standing next to a horse, and it seems to be tackling said horse. And around, he's wearing a cowboy hat and a duster. He does not seem to have sensed that you're there.
He's tackling the horse? No, I'm kidding.
He seems to be adjusting something on the horse.
Yeah. Hey, who goes there?
As he's working on the horse, you see him when he hears your voice, he stops. And he puts his arms down by his sides.
You best
He
be
says-
careful.
I wondered when you'd show up.
Does it sound familiar at all?
Roll insight.
That is a 11.
There's something that strikes you as familiar, but that seems odd to you given the circumstances you're in.
I'm just gonna raise my hands up. I'm not here for any trouble. As my hands up, I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast, like, because I don't have to draw.
Absolutely.
I can just
As you lift your hands, he turns quickly, and your Eldritch Blast make an attack roll.
all right.
As per normal, your Eldritch Blast.
Wow.
Do we hear that, Ron?
Yeah, I'll get to you in just a second.
Okay.
That is a 17.
17 is a hit.
I will roll my damage.
Elders at level 8, Elders Blast, you get 2 of them.
Yep.
That's right. Let me do. I that's why I have both hands. Both hands. 24 is the other one.
And that also hits.
There
for
you
sure.
go.
Mm-hmm. So 14 max damage on one, and 9 on the other. So 23 total.
23 total. As he turns around quickly, you see him pull one of his guns to aim at you, and sure enough, 2 of the Eldritch Blasts go right off in his hand. Do me a favor, roll a d8 for me.
Sure. A 4.
And you shoot. He goes to pull both of his guns. One of them, one of your Eldritch blasts out of his hands. And just as he goes to pull the trigger, and your 2 Eldritch Blasts go off, the rest of you exit the cave, and in front of you is an Ambrose. And the sight that you behold is very different than the last time you saw him. Part of his occipital lobe is missing. And what looks to have been replaced is a crudely stitched, sewn bone back to where his used to be. The eye still missing, and you can see into the fleshy part of where the nerves connect to the back of his head.
It's a lot easier to wink now.
Yeah, a lot easier. He's a sight that sickens you if you weren't celestial and undead. Ambrose, in front of you exiting the cave, as you let the 2 Eldritch Blasts out of your hands, appear to be your friends.
Ambrose,
Except
wait!
They're a bit different.
What?
Each of them appears, their skin is either glowing with a life you've never seen before, or similar to your own, missing color and cold. And from each of their chests extends a small yellow crystal.
Do we see
about
a
the
yellow?
size of a fist.
Do we see one in his chest, in Ambrose's chest as well?
You do not.
Oh. Jefflin will run in between Jedediah and Ambrose, and basically like both of them. Don't shoot.
Yeah. Jedediah, still with his gun drawn, puts his gun in your face and says, "Move! I'm gonna kill him."
I will turn towards Ambrose, and not even really knowing what I'm doing, I will use one of my new fervent abilities, Duty to Protect, and I'll go, "Don't hurt him!" And I will cast Sanctuary on Ambrose.
A small magic bubble, I say small, about you-sized magic bubble, Ambrose, appears around you. If you do not want, make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Yep, more Michael rolls. 6.
Make sure you don't have advantage. Straight roll, as far as I'm concerned, a 6. Does that? I'm assuming that fails, right?
Oh,
Your
yeah.
DCs, yeah.
Yes.
A magic bubble appears around you.
So I'm at will on. Oh, he's not my sworn enemy.
He is not.
The enemy is chosen upon the first casting, and that choice lasts until the next
So
sunrise.
yeah, you're right. So when you go to use that ability, it doesn't. Yeah, you know it's there and you feel it, but you can't summon it, and the spell does not go off.
Dang it! All right, dang it! I misused one of my new abilities. That's okay.
All right, it's a brand new ability. I thrust it on you just now. So,
But yeah, I feel my hand glow in a weird way.
You all see him try to do something almost like an instinctive reaction, and it doesn't. It fails.
This is funny. Hang on, because as an artificer, I actually have sanctuary, and I will do it anyway.
So he goes, wrong hand, and he uses the other hand and casts the spell, and around him.
Wait, I thought that was going to work different. No, I know how to do this.
I'm assuming six still fails your other DC.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And a magic bubble about your size, a shimmering blue.
Actually, he doesn't
effect.
have to roll anything. It's someone who tries to attack him has to roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're right. That's right.
Yes.
I'm just gonna. How are you? Who's?
That, and I will point to the tall rider. Was the rider we saw in town yesterday? Or was it yesterday? How many days have passed? Jedediah.
I've lost track of time.
Wait, did you say
At least
Jedediah?
A couple of weeks.
That's Jedediah.
Couple weeks since we died?
Yes.
Oh. Yikes.
I guess the processing time is slower once you're like off the table for a little bit.
Suppose so.
I watched you grow.
That's unsettling. Yeah, that's Jedediah. He's looks different right now, but it's actually, and since I know it's disguised self, I will walk over to him and poke my hand through the illusion. See, it's not totally real.
And Jedediah removes the black mask, and his form shrinks slightly. And sure enough, in front of you, Ambrose, what looks like the dwarven Jedediah.
Why didn't you say so? You could have just said something.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said, Ambrose. I'm so glad you thought of it too.
I can't trust you. I don't know if you're part of this or not.
He's saying that you are being controlled. I'm sorry, Jedediah. He's our friend. I'm just gonna say it. He's saying that you're being controlled by some sort of, what was it? Spirit thing?
Yeah. Her name's Anya.
And?
Are you being controlled?
No.
I believe him.
Liar. She took control of my Gemma too. Said she wasn't.
Well, all right.
Jedediah, I don't ever remember you being so angry.
True.
Things change when you're murdered in cold blood. I'm surprised you're not more angry.
We're all just vessels of light. And when we die, our spirits travel on to another realm. This is just a casing, like a bullet.
It's very poetic.
Ain't got no more insides. All I am now is the case.
You need love.
Had it. Reachart and Taz and Granger took her from me. And
What
now
are you gonna
I'll
get?
take what they love from them.
What are you going to get by doing that?
Rest, hopefully.
So are you telling me that you will be no more if you get vengeance on the people that did this to you?
Just assume that's what was happening. And you see him kind of grab his head a little bit. Things have cloudy. My memories are so much anger.
I'm going to walk over and put my hand on his shoulder.
He took her from me, Al. He took Gemma. I want to watch the life leave their eyes.
Yeah, who'd you say took Gemma?
The mayor.
Reachart took her from me
because Anya sent her to spy on me and my kind. Now, before I could confront her about it, killed us. Assumed Anya was the reason that we were trapped the way we were. At the end, it wasn't good with Gemma. Her and Anya were not getting along. Something was wrong.
Well,
Where are they now?
In town?
You see, when you ask him, he stiffens a little, and you see him scan the horizon. His eyes, much like Ambrose's, those wild animal cat-like eyes appear, and he begins scanning. And you see him stop in what you can only assume is the direction of town, and he says,
Right now, Breachheart's in the middle of the tavern having a good time. Granger seems to believe that none of us are dead, and Taz is afraid.
Who's Taz? Do we know Taz?
no, but I do.
Who's Taz?
and Jedediah looks at Sam.
She does as well, though she may not know it.
I do.
Yes.
Are these the people that wronged you?
Yes. I've seen their crimes. I've seen into their hearts, into their souls. You'll see the same, just as I do.
Sam, I've gotten information that Taz is the one that has caused you all so much hardship with your parents. Taz is the one who did that to your parents.
The herring gun?
In Ricochet, you're saying?
In Ricochet.
Think it's time we paid a visit.
That's what I've been saying for the last hour. It's time to pay a visit.
Okay. Those cards that you showed us, that in that illusory tavern thing, that was real. You showed me a
Yes.
goblin, like, messing with my inventions and then causing people's houses to burn down, which has really happened, by the way. My Little Sizzler, you know, the toaster that made the really good grilled cheese sandwiches, it malfunctioned when I sold a bunch, and it shouldn't have malfunctioned. I made it right. You know, you've seen it work 100 times. It works right. It burned down multiple houses, which is why I had to close my store. That's neither here nor there. But
Granger the whole time. Bought
That's
the
really-
company that makes your inventions and changed the design without anybody's knowing.
it's really upsetting. It's really unsettling. Mm-hmm.
All because you were connected to me and to my daddy.
Can you prove this?
Yes. Well, not right now. It's in Breachheart's office upstairs.
Okay.
I imagine you might find some information in Granger's establishment as well.
If I get you this information, will you let go of this hatred?
Do my best.
Let's go into town. Let's figure things out, okay? Let's not go in guns blazing. Let's be smart about this. Got a lot of emotions riding on this, and
Fine.
And Jedediah puts his mask over his face, and he turns into the needle knitting lady.
wait a minute. We saw you in town.
You certainly did.
That's creepy.
Oh, honestly, you're like a one-act play, sir.
I mean, really.
You've got the same ability as I do.
You're not Johnny, are you? What happened to Johnny?
No. Johnny, unfortunately, is a casualty of war.
Oh.
Yeah, John is literally no more.
Oh, man.
As soon as he says that, I'm going to reach up and tap the end of my nose and make myself look like Johnny.
And sure enough, he taps the end of his nose, and Al's form changes to that of Johnny.
Okay.
Interesting choice. Wish I thought of it myself.
I'll just make myself look like a miner, I guess. I don't know. You know, just a dandy chap.
Be specific, because when I asked Sam about if she was a minor, she thought I was talking about kid.
Right. No,
Yeah.
one who mines.
Honestly, that's an easy mistake to make. I can see why.
Just pick the piano player that you saw.
Oh, sure. But what if I bump into him? No.
Tell him you're his long lost twin brother.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I will also make myself look like a tabaxi, but you know, with like little like white mittens but black fur. How about that? That sounds.
Jedediah and his
Call me Boots.
His sewing lady disguise walks up to Ambrose and looks at you and says, "I hope you know I don't trust you. And it's not that I don't believe in you, Ambrose. I always have. You've been very good to me. But Anya, there's something she's hiding. I don't know what it is, and Gemma didn't know either, but she sensed it before the end."
I don't think you're lying either, but honestly, this all starts and ends with Taz, and that's all I've been wanting to do. When he's the one that made, honestly, he's the one that has got me to accidentally meet Anya's acquaintance. So, if anything, it's all on Taz.
He removes his mask and turns back into Jedediah. What do you mean?
I'm saying he was trying to. He went for a wrong bounty, and he was trying to get to his own ends, and through that, I was caught in the mix-up of whatever happened, and then next thing you know, whoever this Anya person is bothering me.
Wait, how are you, Ambrose? We all are alive or not alive because of this, I think. But what? How are you still here? How are you not alive?
I'm still alive.
Oh, you don't look it. Don't take that in the wrong way, but that looks really bad.
I mean, for me to be still alive, this is what it took, so...
Oh, okay, all right. No, well then, yeah. Don't look a gift horse in the
Makes sense, right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, y'all. As much as I'm enjoying all this, like, I feel like there's something we got to do, and we just got to choose what it is.
It kind of feels like all of our fates kind of entwined into this one little town.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
This town called Ricochet.
Well, it's got a good ring to it.
I agree with Sal. We should probably get back on these horses and head on over. And
I only see a one horse. You have your horse.
I have a horse.
I don't have my horse anymore.
How long's the walk?
Jedediah flips his mask back on, and he turns into the tall lone cowboy, and he says, "You can summon your own." And he snaps his fingers, and sure enough, a mechanical horse looks like it's run by a coal fire engine appears in front of him, and he mounts up on it.
Wow.
We can all do that?
You sure can.
Will it all look like that?
I don't know. This is just what mine looks like.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to close my eyes and say a prayer to the Empress and then click my fingers twice and think of an all-white steed.
All right, Al, when you close your eyes and snap your fingers, an all-white steed manifests in front of you, and its joints appear to twinkle with starlight, almost as if it is a riding constellation.
Very nice.
Wow.
Johnny smiles brightly, and then crawls up on top of the horse.
Hold up, Sal. Before you make sure it comes with some horse beers. I've been thirsty. I have a pounding headache. It would be great.
There's only one cure for a pounding headache. Horse beer.
Horse beer.
Yeah. It's doctor's orders, All right, so we're all doing this?
Yeah, I guess so.
And are we all supposed to be looking like other people?
Oh yeah, good question.
They might think that we're dead, so yeah, maybe.
Oh.
Okay.
Says the black and white cat.
What?
I don't remember what anyone looked like.
That's all right, but you could just look like someone random.
A wisdom check.
Oh.
Ooh.
This all be Johnny's cousins, like Johnny with red hair, Johnny.
Yanni, Bonnie, Tawny, and Wani.
Yeah, that's a 5.
Erica, let me make sure I'm not very good at this.
That's so good.
A 5. Erica, you can remember the general idea and structure of one of the construction workers that was building one of the buildings on the other side of town.
All right. Just think really hard about that construction worker.
And when her disguised self finishes, she looks like an average height human person. Male or female is totally up to you. Whether it's any gender is totally up to you. But it vaguely reminds you of someone you might have saw earlier in town.
Oh yeah.
I like to think that it's a very basic the most average person you could think of. Nothing really.
Jane Doe.
Generic NPC number 1.
Okay,
Greetings, traveler.
Sal will summon her steed, and it's like a calico horse. So it's lots of different spots on it, and it is equipped with multiple side saddles for horse spear, or like little.
Yeah, little mug pouches that you can
basically
put them.
I got like all the
They're beer
holders.
cozies.
Yeah.
They're beer cozies.
Yeah.
But they fit a
Cup holders.
flask. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're light enough to be removed by a mage hand.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Jedediah looks back at all of you and says, we're going to have to ride to the edge of town and then probably get off of these things as they'll recognize who we are if we don't.
All right.
However, keep in mind at any time, and he holds open his hands, and sure enough, that gun that you shot off into the way appears in his hand, manifests similar to your glaive, in fact, Ambrose, and he holsters it and grabs the reins and says, "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
Yep.
Nod.
Yeah,
Sam's
I guess-
gonna snap, and her steed appears, but it's dwarf-sized. There's average-sized person on a dwarf-sized steed.
Love it.
No, it's a pony. You're right, a pony.
It's like you have to hold your
Yeah.
legs up just enough so that you don't hit the ground while you're riding it.
It's little Sebastian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jedediah looks back and kicks his mechanical horse to ride, and he begins riding towards the direction of Ricochet.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
And Jefflin will bring about his horse as well, and it will look also somewhat mechanical, similar to his, but you'll recognize the similar design as the Little Sizzler as well. So it almost looks like there's heating elements in its chest or something, but not when you ride on it. But it does look metallic and like it's almost fire or steam powered.
And its name is Little Sizzler.
Little Sizzler. No,
Two.
big Sizzler. Big
Big
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
This Big Sizzler.
The big
For
sizzler.
some reason, there's that whipping noise, but there's no whip involved. It's
That's correct.
Everybody make a perception check as
Oh no,
as
this didn't
Jedediah
go well for
rides
us
out.
last time.
Rides out. We've got advantages for
Yes,
Jefflin.
please. Oh.
Ooh,
Morgan,
thank you.
advantage from Dark Horse.
Thank you, Dark House.
Katie, you have advantage from Lily Dumblestuck fan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Michael, you have advantage from Drew from IT. Thank you.
Okay. Oh my god.
Fellow comp sci person.
Yes. Drew from
Dirty
IT,
20.
Yes, fellow comp. Dirty 20. Great.
25.
I rolled a 10.
Oh, Erica, you can't roll.
When I would be rolling,
Oh.
I got
Perception.
caught up. Perception. Okay.
Dirty 20.
Yeah.
Dirty 20, 2
11.
dirty 20s. Cool. 11. All right, DC's 15. For those of you who beat the DC, you
See
notice
5
that
more grenades
when...
coming your way.
And that's the end of our show. You notice that when
Sean, you get one more.
Sean.
You get
Oh,
one more.
Thank you, Sean. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean
Sean
Becker.
Becker, everybody.
Sean Becker. Sean Becker.
I love it.
What you notice, Sal and Jefflin, is that when Jedediah's steed moves forward and moves off into the darkness, there are no hoof prints left in the sand as he moves towards
Useful.
his destination.
Sure.
In fact, you notice everyone else. The only horse that leaves any footprints in the sand are in fact Ambrose's horse.
Normal and alive. That's me.
Normal and alive.
Totally normal.
Normal and
All right.
alive.
We can just make
And-
ourselves look like whatever we want, whenever we want.
I guess so.
As you ride, it's similar to when you were riding to the mine originally, before you were viciously murdered and exploded. The night air is cool. You can feel it on your skin, all of you. It's cool. There is no moon in the sky, though the stars are bright and twinkling. Alec gives you a little bit of a warm feeling, knowing that you're not alone.
Yeah.
And as you get,
I'd like to cast some spells on people before we get
Absolutely.
into town.
Of course.
So you know. Okay.
yeah, about a minute outside of town as you're riding, Jedediah pulls up and gets off his horse, and
Whoa,
you can
Big
hear
Sizzler.
what
Whoa.
sounds. You can hear what sounds like the tinkling of a piano from inside. However, it doesn't sound as good or as entertaining as it did from the night before, or from the last time you were here. As if Ambrose recalls, Shiny Teeth was one of the ambushers in the brush, and in fact was the one he killed before he himself went unconscious. You can hear the tinkling of piano, and it sounds like people are having a great time. Everybody make a perception check.
I'll try.
Any advantages?
Yes, thank you. Katie, advantage from Chef Scott 68.
Thank goodness I rolled a 1.
And that is all I have.
17 for me.
Well,
21.
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
no!
Only a 5 for me.
I
Hey,
got
at
a
least
15
you're
this time.
getting all of the bad rolls out of the way before we get into town.
That's true.
Feel too many perception checks, though. We saw what happened last week.
Yeah. I got a 21.
Erica just dies again.
All of a sudden, my judge side just cut one to pieces. No one's
The man in the black hat's like, that was too quick.
Well, that didn't go well.
Higher than 12.
Yep. 21.
Okay, if you got higher than 12, and Al, I'll get to you in a second, you see something even extra. If you're higher than 12, you notice that the town seems, or especially the tavern, seems a bit more lively, as if there are more people inside the tavern than when last you visited.
Perfect.
And in fact, Al, you can see that there are quite a few number of people in the streets, to the point of you think that maybe a couple of traveling caravans have arrived in Ricochet since last you were here. As you can see, a few of the wagons hitched up inside what was formerly Johnny's stable, and now being empty. No one seems to be manning the stable currently.
The
but
sign
there are a
says, formerly Johnny's.
formerly Johnny's, ex Johnny's.
Oh, no.
Do they look like
Really just
settlers?
John, because he was blown up in half. So But it's clear that a couple of wagons and stagecoaches and the like have arrived here.
Do they look like settlers or pilgrims or new miners?
It does look like maybe they were settlers of some sort. If you recall, there was some plans by the Zed Mining Corporation, excuse me, that were sending some more individuals this way.
Okay.
Following you. What you also notice, Al, is at the top, on the very roof of the Grazed Gambler, sit two individuals. They don't appear to be paying any attention to what's going on around them, but you can see quite clearly that there's a hunting rifle sort of propped up against the roof as they seem to be sitting and talking towards to one another.
Is it, what time of day is it? Is it nighttime?
It's nighttime. The sun is now completely set. You get a feeling that that's maybe why they're not looking, because they can't really see too far off into the dark.
Right.
But there is clearly some sort of, even within town, there seems to be a gas lamp or two lit to give people general light as
Actually,
they're walking.
Makes
down the
sense
street.
that I can see them because I have infravision or dark vision for 300 feet.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's why I said you.
Yeah. I'll point them out to everyone as best I can. There's two men, I think they're men, with rifles on top of the Grazed Gambler.
Why?
I think they might be lookouts.
Protection.
Yeah.
Okay, so choose a disguise that doesn't look dangerous.
I mean, we've already got an old knitting woman, Johnny, and generic settler #1 over there.
Well, if you want my opinion, I think we should sneak around the backside where they can't see us, and we come out from the shadows as if we just belong there.
Well, I was gonna say that I can make myself and maybe even one other person invisible.
Maybe you should do that with Ambrose, because he's less inconspicuous. He's more conspicuous. Whatever.
Yeah, I like the look, but the eyeball thing is a bit much.
You stick out a little.
Yeah, literally.
Well, so while we're having this conversation, I'm gonna cast a couple spells because I know we're going into town and it's gonna be dangerous, and I don't want us to all die again. Again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Zajac as the cleric.
Yeah, very different. So one of my spells, I twist a platinum ring around my hand and enact warding bond with my sister. Which she's probably familiar with, but the rest of you maybe not so much. And then I would like to cast, because Ambrose is not one of us, correct? He's not. He's a person. He's not.
How dare you?
Right. What are we called again? Fervent. Yeah, he's not a fervent. So Ambrose, I would like to cast the 4th level spell Death Ward on you, which I will place both my hands, if you'll allow me to, I'll place both my hands on your chest and say, may you allow the Empress into your heart, and may she protect you and bring you back from the Valley of Death. And then I'll bring my hands back.
I'm sure she'll help me quite a bit.
Well, if you drop to 0 hit points as the result of taking damage, you immediately stand back up with 1 hit point. And if anything were to kill you instantly without dealing damage, this would negate that effect. And it lasts for 8 hours.
Nice.
For those of you who don't know, warding bond between Katie's characters Sal and Al, Katie gains +1 bonus to AC and saving throws, as resistant to all damage. But each time she takes damage, Al will take the same amount of damage.
Yeah,
got it.
And obviously, me saying "I'm sure it will" was in Ambrose's voice. I'm not like, "Yeah, me, Michael, of course, Jared, I'm sure."
And then I'll cast another spell where I will make myself and Ambrose invisible and say, may the veil of twilight make us unseen to those who wish us harm. and then we'll disappear.
And as Al finishes his final prayer and the magic washes over Ambrose and himself, left in the dark is a disguised Jedediah in the form of a sewing woman, an invisible Johnny. We have Jefflin. What is it that you look like again?
I think that's right. I look like the twin brother of the dead piano. No, I look like a similar cat to the dead piano player.
Sam, you look like did you describe yourself? What you are disguising yourself as?
That generic construction.
Generic. Oh, that's right. Generic construction worker.
Mm-hmm.
Generic construction worker. And Katie, you look like.
I hadn't picked yet, but what did the bartender look like again?
The bartender was a heavily mustached, black-haired human.
Yeah, I'll do that. I look
an
like
exact replica.
like a very similar vibe, but we don't look exactly the same.
Okay, all right.
But Sal's not super creative, so like she tried to make it look different, but it basically is like him, but like a different color bandana, and like she kind of panics and like didn't do a good job.
It's a yellow bandana completely changes the flavor.
Whole different vibe.
So as Jedediah, as our sower woman, walks into the darkness, that's where we'll go to our intermission.
All right.
Into the darkness.
Before we start
Into the darkness, we're back at Ricochet with a bunch of what in the world is happening and what is going on.
Truly.
Questions abound. Answers to follow. We'll see you in 15.
Yay!
And we're back. That's right. A town called Ricochet. Starting again right now. When we last left off before our intermission, we had just arrived back in Ricochet. Weeks after the last time the team was there, new settlers have arrived, and things are a bit different than before. All right, when we left off, Jedediah in his knitting woman disguise slinked off into the darkness, leaving you all behind.
Well, I think we were gonna follow Sam and Sal were gonna follow. I think we're all gonna follow him, but the two of you were invisible. Okay.
Everybody make stealth checks.
So we're following the invisible people.
Advantage for me and Al, right? Because we're invisible.
Yeah.
Advantage because you're invisible, and Katie, you also have advantage because of Chef Scott 68.
Oh my goodness! Thank you.
Like being invisible.
Oh.
I rolled a 17.
Out of the box.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well,
14.
I mean, my roll was a 10, but I have a +7 on stealth. So
Nice.
Yeah.
the
I rolled
dice-
a nat 1.
Oh, a nat one. A nat
All
one.
of your characters
Classic
terrible at
Jeff
stealth.
Lynn.
Oh no!
Class.
I
Jeff
got
Lynn
25.
Jefflin may have his disguised self on, but he is still wearing all of the very heavy tools and trinkets, tripods, all of my
Accoutrement.
all of my artisans kits that I'm proficient with, which is like 6 of them. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't learn the infusion bag of holding.
Yep. No.
Seems like it would have been very useful.
That was done with me.
All right,
say
so
that
you make your way towards town, and everything seems to go just fine as you sneak past a bit of some of the brush in the backside, back towards where the man who was gunned down in town was taken after he was gunned down. And you slip into the alleyway, and just as you slip into the alleyway, it is Jefflin in the form of remind me your disguise currently again.
A tabaxi, a black and white
That's right.
tabaxi with
A similar
mittens.
black and white tabaxi wearing mittens drops what looks like a wrench of some sort, making a clang 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 in the dark.
Dang it!
I'm going to roll perception, but I have disadvantage from AGM. A.G. McLeod.
Ooh.
So thank you, A.G. McLeod.
Thank you, A.G. McLeod.
Is my D20? Oh, here it is.
Even
Put
with
my
a
dice down
even
during
with
the
my
intermission.
bonus, it's a 3. So
I rolled. The first one was a 17 plus the amount. The second one's a nat 1. Look at that.
Look at that. We're good.
Yes.
No, you all stop. Right, everybody's hearts thumping real fast, and there's the sound in the darkness. After a few moments goes by, no one seems to notice or come looking.
Ambrose, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I don't want this to sound strange or anything, but is it all right if I put a hand on you so I know where you're at?
You could do it this time.
I'm just kind of, based off of him talking, I'm just kind of reaching around, trying to feel around and put a hand on him so that I can stay
Poor
next to him or
Ambrose.
close by.
Just all the gents just want to touch him on the
I accidentally caress his face a little bit.
You feel a little bit of occipital bone. Oh.
Yeah.
still have that ring I gave you, by the way, which helps you regain a 3rd level spell slot. But
That's
if you're
true.
wearing the ring I gave you,
Oh, I
I
completely forgot. I completely forgot, Michael, to tell you in the secret room, you have an additional spell slot this evening.
On top of that?
On top of it, you have an additional
Whoa.
spell slot this evening. I forgot that was part of your benefit. For
fancy
So
warlock.
So wait, so this is a warlock with 4 spell slots?
What?
Broken. It's
Come
broken.
on, your
Too
show.
broken,
Come on,
bro.
You brought the number 1 warlock.
I mean,
as you do.
Yeah,
the
that
number
makes
1
sense.
warlock gotta have 4 slots. Gotta
That
have
makes sense.
Gotta have it.
Whatever.
And so no one comes running, and you see Jedediah kind of wait a few seconds and then sort of just walk into the light and start acting like he's this woman who belongs in town. And he crosses to the right-hand side and moves beyond the corner of the grazing gambler.
Are we just gonna walk into the tavern? Is that the plan?
Well, I was going to take Ambrose up to the top part of the building so we could see if we could find that information that he was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we're just gonna go have a drink.
You're just gonna go look for proof?
Well, I didn't know what the rest of you were going to do.
I mean, no, Jedediah's walking like he has a plan. I don't...
Well, can you keep him from killing people so that I can go and find whatever it is that he's looking for before he starts punching holes in people's bodies?
I'll do my best. And I'll
I'm gonna wait to do my vengeance until, Ambrose is around too, because I think we got similar goals here.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
want
if
to take
bullets
that
start
from
flying,
him either.
I'll come as soon as I can to try to keep all of y'all alive. Well, kind of alive.
All right, okay. And I will start quickly walking after Jedediah because I'm worried that he is walking with a purpose towards a place where there are a lot of people.
Yeah, he walked as you follow him around the corner after you're small. You can see him kind of what looks like he's conversing with someone on the steps, almost as if he is just a knitting woman having a conversation with another townsperson. They seem to have some rapport, as if they have talked before, and he bids his adieu as you walk up, and he seems to stop and says, "Oh, Michael, I apologize. This is my friend Joe."
That's right.
Joe, this is Michael. Michael's here. Joe's one of the new members of the town. Michael is responsible for bringing the horses back from the mine.
Oh, how nice of you.
He looks at you, shrugs, and says, "It's lovely to meet you." And he holds out his hand as if he wishes to shake your hand.
No, I don't. No, that's okay. I'm sorry. My hands are very dirty. Yeah. Don't take anything personal by it. Anyway,
Michael looks at who you know as Jedediah inquisitively, and she says, "He's a newcomer, And Michael seems to shrug it off and go back to what he was doing. And Jedediah looks at you kind of sternly and walks into the tavern.
Hey, knitting lady, come back here.
Joe, there's a table inside that we could have a conversation at if you'd like.
All right, sure.
And as you walk into the tavern, it is clearly packed. There are way more people here than were before. Probably 3 or 4 times the amount of people that were here the last time. It is to the wall party going on. There's some tinkling at the piano. It's clearly another entertainer. He's just not as good as Shiny Tooth was, and not able to hold the crowd, which is fine because the crowd seemed to be gathered around one table and seem to be cheering as time goes on. And you can see pretty clearly that Breachheart Blaze is in a card game with 4 others. One of which looks a little bit like a goblin with a helm, with a small helmet on his, like a skull cap on his head, almost like a hard hat, like a modern hard hat, but on his head, like there. This is clearly Granger Greesh, Jefflin. As he seems to be holding his cards aloft, and he's got a small pair of spectacles that are just at the end of his nose. As he's looking at the cards, brings them down and looks at his opponents. Make a perception check there for me.
I'm still hanging back, by the door, waiting for my friends of mine I can see. So waiting for Sam and Sal. For sure. Perception. Yeah.
Yep.
Do I have advantage?
You do not. Straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
Just a 11.
It is very crowded in here, and you see some faces. You notice that the bartender is the same bartender that you met before. Seems to be slanging horse beers like the best of them, as his tavern is exceptionally busy. And you
Looks
do notice
exactly like Sal, except a different color bandana.
Great.
And
Completely different.
You
Totally
do notice
different.
that a little bit off to the right, just past when you enter the door, there appears to be an empty table. It's a little bit it obscures the view of the entertainment, so no one seems to be sitting there. And Jedediah goes and sits in the corner. Looks like he normal puts down his knitting needles and begins to rifle in his bag. If you didn't know that this was Jedediah Goodson Vindicar Fervent, you would assume that he was just a knitting woman or a sewing woman.
Better
in
at this
town.
than me. Yeah. Okay. All right. I will motion over to everyone over to the table and then walk over and sit down with the knitting needle lady.
All right. What are the rest of you doing? I know two of you are invisible, so we'll get to you in just a moment. But Sal and Sam, in your disguises, are you staying on the street in the shadows? Are you going inside? What are your plans?
Well, before I go inside, I wanted to come up with like a code word with Ambrose for whenever he's ready to, take Taz out. Because that's all I want to do, really.
Right. Well, did they already leave? Are they Ambrose?
We're right
Ambrose?
here.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
What? Okay. Whenever you're ready, come find me and say something.
Ambrose.
Ambrose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I was gonna go with something like let's get the varmint, or like, So I like that. Ambrose is good.
Ambrose? Okay.
I mean, honestly, y'all, I'm not real part of this, but like you could combine them like Ambrose, let's get the varmint. Like it's like a long code word kind of situation.
I like it. Yeah. That's the one I like.
It just kind of tells a story, which I think like is aesthetically pleasing to my ears, I guess, if that works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Whenever you're ready, I'll be drinking horse beer or something.
I just want to put this out there. I also chose vengeance, and it's like just because I don't really have a thing with justice. It kind of wronged me before, so I feel like I can help. Like I know it's not really my fight to fight, but like I'm here if you want help. So.
All right, great.
You hear a long, disappointed sigh.
I really got to watch where I say that because I am dividing the family. All right.
Well, maybe we should go get inside then.
Yeah, we just go grab it.
Yeah, we can talk more in there.
Okay.
Having
All
a brother as a cleric is such a buzzkill.
Your brother.
So is he always like that? Is he always
The first child is always the one who is like really a rule follower, if you know what I mean. I'm the youngest, so.
Oh, you get away
Sal
with
and
everything, then.
Sal and Sam make their way into the tavern, following another individual who seems to be walking from the opposite direction of the street into the tavern, and passes just by Jefflin, looking at Jefflin briefly as he passes by. Jefflin, when he looks at you, your vision seems to blur a bit, and you get a vision of a man hiding behind a black mask in the middle of the night. You see him looking at something in his pack, and he pulls out. This is a vision that you're having while you look at this man in the eyes. It is the man that you see, that look in the eyes, that you are seeing this vision of.
Mhm.
And he pulls what looks like a small cylindrical silver object from his pack, and he gives it a couple of click, 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 click kicks, and he loads it into the end of a rifle, aims it high in the night, and you see him shoot it into the dark. And then you're brought back into the and that vision only lasted as long as he looked you in the eye. He passes, as he looks you in the eye, it's kind of just a passing glance, noticing someone in the room. He makes his way through the crowd towards the barkeep.
Good evening. Now as I'm circling around and kind of upset by that, but also kind of trying to gather myself and sitting down at the table, Jefflin's eyes will kind of very non-subtly stare daggers at Granger Greesh as well, sitting at the table.
All right.
I'm a -1 to deception. He does not hide things very well.
If
you can't tell.
As you stare at Granger Greesh, Granger doesn't seem to notice anything's wrong. He seems like, as you're observing him, he seems like he's really enjoying himself, almost as if this goblin has no enemies and nothing to worry about. That's the feeling you get when he's here. Complete joy. Seems to be enjoying what's going on around the tavern. Whether he wins or loses in the hands that he's playing, he really seems to be enjoying himself. Breachheart Blaze, the same. Seems less tense than the last time you saw him. Joking around with people in the tavern. And now that you are observing him without him knowing you're there, you can tell that Breachheart's a bit of a charismatic type. Rough around the edges, seems to be upfront and in your face. He's a dragonborn, that naturally occurs to that type. But people seem to gain trust of him pretty quickly, to the point of you kind of catch some glimpses of him like just taking things from people's pockets and putting it his own as he's charming them. At one point where you can see Granger sort of sees that he's doing that and kind of coughs, and Breachheart seems to catch that and go back to what he was doing. But as you look around the tavern, you don't see anyone other than those two that you recognize just sitting there. Sam and Sal soon sit right next to you at the table.
Sam and Sal soon sit.
Soon sit.
Sam and Sal soon sit in the saloon.
In the saloon, sipping sarsaparillas.
Very nice. So, old lady whose name I didn't catch, knitting needle lady.
No.
What's
Hannah.
Hannah?
Joanna.
Oh, Joanna. What's the plan here? There's a lot of people around.
I'm here to make sure that those two, and he kind of looks around. Joanna looks, the needle woman looks around and lowers her voice and says, "I'm just waiting for when they're alone and I can start shooting."
Oh, okay.
Wow, somehow so much creepier coming from the needle woman.
Yeah, but it's even worse.
Yeah.
Somehow that's creepy. Yeah.
No, the creepy thing is the needle thing that she's stitching. It's like the nice little like hillside cottage thing, and then after that, it's just like a murder happening inside.
It's a hillside cottage, and it's about to
closer.
explode. Like it's in the process of exploding.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Is that a body in the front yard of the
Yeah,
hillside
this
cottage?
is you, actually. It's you.
Oh no.
Okay.
I think I saw one of the men who blew us up.
And Joanna says, Al told me that he's going to find out and get the information that I need to make sure he's held accountable.
Right. Okay. So I guess.
And I'm going to start shooting.
Okay. Maybe we cause a big ruckus to clear the place out.
I figure a few shots into the ceiling might do just that.
Okay. Yeah.
What about like a fire drill?
Sure.
Like it's on fire, everybody get out.
Right.
Or we could light a fire.
Or we could
We
light
could
a
light
fire.
it, and then it's not a drill.
You like
It's just
that
a
idea?
straight up real
That's
fire.
fine.
Right.
Good idea. Not Sam.
I wonder
Sorry,
how they're
I forgot
doing.
what was I supposed to call you?
Oh, I didn't think that far ahead.
Honestly,
Sam's a
Sam.
fairly common name. I mean,
Yeah.
Sam.
And you got a real forgettable face on you now, so I think it's fine.
That was I forgot the face, so I just kind of guessed.
Honestly, you did a good job. I won't remember you in a few minutes.
Good.
You simultaneously look like no one and everyone.
The three of you at the table make perception check. Katie, you have advantage from Chef Scott 68, as well as
God.
you, Erica, from Chef.
Nice.
Yay!
Let's go.
Okay.
We'll take it.
Perception 14.
Perception 22.
Sal, as you're talking, you can notice somebody sitting at a couple of tables down, all by himself. He's staring at you, and kind of,
Me specifically?
yep, staring at you, and then you see him look over at the bartender, and then back at you, and see him a bit confused. And you see him look down at his drink, and kind of look at it, sniff it, sip it, look at you, and shrug, and go back.
Too many
to
horse beers.
Maybe we should have put like some glasses on you.
Or
On me? I guess so.
glasses and a different handkerchief just
Does
makes
anybody
the world
have
a
any
difference.
glasses?
I think you can make your own with the disguised self. Anyway.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Back
Sal will just put
outside.
Sal's gonna put her head on the table like this and make glasses happen and then be like,
Oh, see,
better?
yeah,
Is
totally
better?
better. Yeah.
okay.
That's totally better. I couldn't tell who you are now.
Okay, my name's Tarbender.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Moving back out to our invisible pair.
Names and disguises.
say.
What we do around here.
Oh yeah.
Nothing changes.
Your three compatriots move off beyond the corner of the tavern and inside. What are you two doing?
So I'm casting another ability, Vigilant Blessing, on Ambrose, so he gets advantage on his next initiative roll.
Is there a somatic component?
Nope.
Okay.
It's one of my clerical
Great.
abilities.
Perfect.
Yeah. I just have to touch him, which I'm already doing.
Great.
And
Yep.
it doesn't even require concentration.
Still just
Great.
And then I'm going to whisper into his ear, do you trust me?
As moist as your mouth is, yes, I do trust you.
Okay, good. And then I'm going to hook my arms up underneath his arms, and then
Yeah.
I'm going to use Steps of the Night as a bonus action,
Yeah.
which if I'm in dim light or darkness, I can give myself flight for 1 minute.
Whoa.
And I'd like to fly the two of us up to the window on the second floor
Okay.
so that we can
Romantic.
get into sight.
Here on the side of the tavern. Here on the left side of the tavern.
Yes, you said that there's an upper floor.
There is.
Where the evidence is. I want to
Yeah,
fly.
I'm just making sure it's up
Ambrose
on the
and I-
left side of the tavern.
Yes, I want to
Yeah.
fly Ambrose and I up to that floor.
they can
Yeah.
show you the town.
You know, it's invisible, so if anyone wants to do the fanfic, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Do fan art where it's invisible, you don't know what's happening. It's totally fine.
Exploding.
In that way, all fan art is fan art of two invisible people flying arm in arm. I mean, it
You've been doing
could
it
be
the whole
anywhere.
time.
That's very true. As you
blank
fly,
paper.
Ambrose, suddenly you're kind of lifted up off of your feet from underneath your arms, and you can hear and feel Al's warm breath on your ear as he lifts
is
you up to the
definitely a
second
Western.
story.
It's definitely a Western.
Our party has boundary issues.
And as he floats you up to the top, you can see inside the window there appears to be a hairy individual with a cowboy hat leaning on the railing inside, looking over down into the tavern.
Harry, how?
It appears the back of their head appears to be very black and gray kind of look to it. To get a better view and get a look of them, you'd either have to somehow get inside or bypass the window completely.
So, question. On that note, question.
Yeah.
Did we know that like we couldn't do magic the last time we were in here? Because that's that's
Well, we're not
awkward.
inside the building yet.
Some of them are.
You could do it. He just knew
He
immediately.
just knew immediately that it was being cast.
It wasn't like it was stopping you from doing it.
Mhm.
Right.
You're right.
Okay.
Well, it did stop.
Oh.
It did stop. It stopped Al from being able to summon the spell.
Detect
Oh.
thoughts. I was using detect thoughts.
Mhm.
Oh.
Do we? So, does that affect anything that's happening in the tavern
Nope.
current?
As far as you three are concerned, it is not affected. It has not affected what you are currently in.
Thank God.
Cool.
Trust me, yeah, was one of the first things I thought of when you walked into the tavern.
Whoops.
but the way that the thing functions that he has access to does not function.
Okay.
Right.
There's not much things we can or cannot do, so I guess I will test my first spell. So we have to create distraction, number 1. Number 2, warlock shit. And number 3, do as the Romans do. So what I'm going to do is, how he has like that skull inside of the tavern?
Yep.
I think I want to cast the spell hallucinatory terrain. I don't know.
Your current position, you can't see that particular skull because it is underneath the awning of the inn on the top side.
Oh, does this have to be terrain, like open fields, roads? It can't just be like a building. I can't.
Do you
like,
have
change
major image?
I don't. This is hallucinatory terrain. Damn it. Okay. Well, I have to. We'll just pocket that. That's fine. The only other way we got to kick this off. I'm gonna try with me and Al. I'm gonna whisper back to Al.
So romantic.
I gotta take us through the door. Is that all right?
Yeah, I want to get inside so I can find the evidence.
And then I will dimension door, like right when he's like, yeah.
Okay, so where are you targeting the dimension door? You can see beyond where, just in right next to the hairy individuals looking over the banister. To your left, there appears to be like a larger area where there's maybe some tables and some doors to some rooms. And then off to your right, down that banister is where and have seen Breachheart Blaze go into his office.
Mm-hmm.
You can see up to the front door. You can see the door of Breachheart Blaze's office. You can see a couple of doors on the other side, or you can literally be on the banister next to the hairy man who's looking over.
Oh, this is not like the person that we're intending to like. This is not the person. This is no one that we actually really care about. So
not that you can right now. All you can tell is the back of a person's head who's here.
We're just gonna try. I'll try and dimension door to a place where I think is important that we can see.
Okay, so I think probably the one that you see is probably closest to the office.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small area in which you could dimension door into. There is a small effect when the door opens, but. Also, can you take more than one person with your dimension door?
You can. One person of equal size, and they consent. So I believe all those.
I'm
things
assuming,
are
Al,
checked.
you consent.
I consent.
Good. You always want to check as you go along. They consented earlier. You check again.
Right. You always check. Don't assume a yes. You have to check.
It's yeah.
Yeah, you have to check. Just the right thing to do.
In cowboy westerns, consent is important.
It's
100%.
Just know it. Just know it.
It's in every spaghetti western I've ever seen. Consent.
1,000%.
1,000%. So you look at that small nook and you think you could probably get there without alerting the person on the banister. And sure enough, a small door opens in the air. No one around to see it, so it doesn't really bother anyone. And you step through it. And you are now inside, just outside of what you know to be Breachheart Blaze's office door. As you look down the other way, you can see there's a Harangon man with a cowboy hat and what looks like a rifle on his back and a revolver on his side. Seems to be leaning on the banister, scanning the crowd. And sure enough, that is Taz. That is Taz Miraz, as you know him, Ambrose, the Harangon assassin, responsible for.
Is it spelled like Jason Mraz? Sorry.
It is, in fact.
Is he
Taz Miraz?
Is he the one on the banister looking over?
It is him.
Okay.
He is the only one on the second floor, and you can see he's clearly been perched here to. Keep a lookout for someone or something.
All right. Well, I don't have any pusherson spells, so the next best thing you can do is probably just try and Eldritch Blast them off. So that's we're gonna get this party started. And I'm gonna say
right before you do that, I'm like, so can you get me inside this room?
I guess I'll see if that door is open before I do what I'm gonna do.
That door, as you jiggle it, is locked. I'm assuming you weren't doing that stealthily. So I will make a check here, make sure I don't have any disadvantages. I do not. When you jiggle the handle, you see the Harangon lift himself off the banister and walk away from you down as if he is patrolling to get a better view.
Okay.
You shot.
Well, I assumed his Eldritch Blast hadn't yet gone off.
No, it hasn't gone
Al
yet.
Had interrupted.
He had a
him.
question, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's locked. I can't. I tried the door.
Do you know how to pick locks?
No, do you?
No. Shoot. We need my sister.
Well, she's down there. I can't.
Can you do you know how to send like magical messages or anything?
No, I've never done that. No.
See the rabbit person go up to one of the doors on the other side of the banister, open it, and go through it and close the door.
All right, well, there's nobody over here now, so we could just force it.
Sure. And I'm going to God dang, I don't want to use another spell here.
Blast it.
Anyway, stop blasting. Yeah, I'll just blast the door. We'll see if we get through it, and then at that point, things are just gonna pop off because that's the only way I can do. So
Okay, so you're gonna Eldritch Blast the door.
sure.
All right, make your 2 attack rolls.
Here we go.
Natural 20,
Hey!
Ooh, yep.
and
That's gonna be a crit against the door.
Kill that door.
you know, this is what warlocks are designed for: breach doors, I guess. Apparently, 21.
21 damage, or the second attack is 21.
Second attack is that.
Yeah,
hit
the
is
AC of the
21.
door is
Yeah.
8.
Sweet. I hope I can hit it. So now we're just gonna roll this damage dice. Another 14, so max damage on that,
Jeez.
and then 7, so 21 total.
And then you critted as well.
Oh,
Yeah, double dice.
Yeah, you did crit.
okay. So that would
21
be,
plus another D10.
Yes, I'll do that. That is another 3. So
Everybody
24.
downstairs make perception checks.
Mhm. I hope you can hear this.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
My dice are wild tonight. 7.
Oh, 21.
9.
It's the glasses.
All of you hear what sounds like a large explosion come from upstairs. And Al, what you see is the door that was there splinter and explode inward as 2 eldritch energies emit from the invisibility, dropping.
And- yeah,
dropping his invisibility.
Yeah, he becomes.
He now
visible.
becomes visible.
Yeah.
And now
I'm still invisible though, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
and,
you are.
and now I'm just gonna be like, damn, bros, damn varmints.
Oh! I don't think
All
I
right,
hear.
everybody roll initiative.
I mean, if he yelled that and I rolled a 21 on perception, did I hear it?
Damn,
Yes,
bros.
absolutely. I mean, everybody, unless your perception was 5 or lower, everyone clearly.
No, I mean him
is.
saying Dan Bros,
Oh,
Dan Barman.
Yes, yes, yes.
How could you miss it?
Your keen Gith ears.
Oh, come on.
I rolled
You got,
a
you
21.
got advantage, Ambrose. You got advantage
Okay,
from my
sick.
thing.
I will do the
Okay.
thing. Yep. Well,
Terrible
sure.
Pull
now.
up mine.
Initiative, but I'm alert. So I get +5 because I took the alert.
Ooh, there you go.
Because you know what? I'm not
You
going to
got
have a surprise death again.
Blowed up real bad
I'm
last
going to
time.
blow it up real bad, yeah.
Let me manage your party real quick, like. You're all
Manage it.
level 8.
Yeah, we are.
There are 5 of you.
Got a 6.
Got a 6. Hold on to your rolls for me.
And we're holding. And
We're holding.
All right. There we go. Good. Okay. Jarrett.
4.
4.
Clerics
Alright.
always go last.
I wasn't expecting Ambrose to explode the door. I thought he was just gonna like really push on it hard.
Yeah, I was also not I was
Yeah.
not
About the
expecting
strength of the
that.
party.
Ambrose, what is your roll?
11.
11. All right.
How much experience
Shuffling.
do we get for the door, Ron?
6.
There's your
6
answer.
experience.
Yeah.
6
That
experience.
door was a mimic.
It was a minute. Sal,
I got a 18.
18. And Sam.
21.
Nice.
Yeah,
go.
that makes sense to me.
Get him, varmint!
Yeah, Sam plays it cool till she doesn't.
That's Shantytown Sam for you.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
time.
we have a surprise round. We
See
have a
Sam's all
surprise
over
round.
energy.
We do have a surprise round.
Okay.
Katie, I know that you are alert, so you cannot be a surprise, so you will be included in the surprise round. So it is, in fact, Sal's turn.
Okay, so the explosion has just happened upstairs,
Yes,
and nothing.
upstairs.
Everyone downstairs is just.
I mean, they all react. They also hear what you hear, but they haven't had a chance to go yet. So it's your
Like
turn.
mid crunch on a pretzel, with like there was a bowl of pretzels on the table. I was, "Hmm."
All right. Well, Sal is going to then take this moment to stand up and just being like unsure how to the plan that they were talking about in this plan. She's like, "All right, here's the deal. There's a fire and everybody needs to get out of the building. All right, so
Okay,
get out. Go, 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 go."
Oh my
Go ahead
goodness.
and roll a persuasion check for me there, Katie. You have straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
It should be with advantage because she's like the barkeep, but with more.
Yeah.
She seems more comforting and more safe.
And smarter
therefore-
because of the
I
glasses.
do have advantage because you gave it to me last inspiration from last time, so I'm going to use it. That I
Nice.
didn't use.
Good time to use it.
Okay.
Right?
Because I feel like I want it. Okay, it didn't help. 14.
The one next to you goes, looks at you and says, "There's a fire! Fire! Fire!" You hear him. Yeah, I'm not going to scream out loud because I have
Yeah.
neighbors, but there's a. They scream.
Your whole building
that
actually
person begins to
evacuates.
scream fire, and then everyone else, the two people around them, also begin to scream fire, and immediately the people closest to the door begin to shuffle out of the door.
I'll look at Jeff Lynn and Sam and go,
Good job.
All right, next is this here. Next is Ambrose.
All right, sweet. I saw that Herringon go into a door. You said.
Yes, down the way. Yep.
I'm gonna
About, he is about 60, 70 feet away from you.
Through
Okay.
a door.
Through a door, right.
And then I can see them downstairs, right?
Yes, you can see over the banister, and you can see where you are currently located. You can actually see well towards the front of the establishment, and you have a clear line of sight
All right.
on the back of
I'm
Ranger's head and the
I'm-
side of Rechart's.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, "Hey, Shantytown," and I'm gonna point of where I know the Herringon is.
Okay.
Because that's the signal I said,
Right.
the Ambrose
Yep.
thing. So,
Yep.
I'm just gonna start
And
making my,
varmint.
I'm gonna make my way over there.
Okay.
And get ready. If I see him, actually,
Yeah.
I'll hold an action. That's what I'll do.
Okay.
Because he's a Herringon. He's probably quick to draw, so I might as well also get ready to draw something. I'm gonna hold the action, summon Shadow Spawn right where he is.
Okay. You're gonna hold the action, and if you see him, you're gonna summon Shadow Spawn on top of him. Okay.
Mhm.
Next is Al.
Me? I only had a 4.
Because I think you were not surprised.
But you were not
So,
surprised.
Yes,
I see.
the rest of us, yeah, we're kind of what?
Okay. Am I within 60 feet of my sister where I'm at right now, or no?
No, you are not.
Okay. I would like to move, even though I'm still invisible, I would like to move to where I am at least within 60 feet so that the warding bond still works.
Okay, you'll have to move about 10, 15 feet away from the door that just exploded.
That's fine. I'm flying.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I'll set Ambrose down and I'll fly as far as I
Ambrose
need to.
kind of ran off.
Oh, okay.
And to the
Sorry.
door.
It
Got
was
it.
nice, but I had to get to work.
So what do I see from where I'm at now? Because I know I was in a hallway, but now
Yep. You're in the hallway. You're still in the hallway, but this hallway leads to a banister above above the tavern.
I'd like to go out onto the banister then.
Yeah, that's exactly where you have to move to in order to get to closer to her. And sure enough, you can, just like Ambrose from where you are now, it was where Ambrose first saw. You can see the front of the establishment, the back of Grandeur Grisha's head, the side of Breach Heart's, and just beyond Breach Heart's, where he's sitting, you see Sal yelling at people next to her.
Okay.
Or you see what looks like a bartender, the bartender yelling at who you know is Sal, yelling at people that there's a fire.
Okay. But no one's pulled guns and started shooting or anything crazy.
You're still
like
in a
that,
surprise
right?
round, so no one has been able to have a chance to react just yet.
Okay. Do I see people pulling guns, or does it look like people are more panicking and running out of the
right now, the crowd seems to be panicking. There's a lot of non-combat individuals that are in the crowd that don't respond to things with guns, and so they seem to be panicking, and they seem to be kind of obscuring the vision or your views of anyone else who you might think appears armed or would jump to action.
Okay. Huh. All right. That's a tough choice to make. Do I see the Herringon?
Behind the door.
He's behind the door. So
yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he went behind the door.
Okay. Then you know what? I'm still invisible. I'm still flying. I'm just gonna fly while I'm invisible straight down to where I'm above the poker table with the with all of them sitting at it.
How high are you gonna? You're currently on the banister. You're about 15 feet higher than the floor. Do you want to keep it about that level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're kind of hovering next to what looks like an old style wooden candelabra that has a few what look like magical lights attached to them.
Perfect.
And you're just hovering. And you're invisible, so no one can see you clearly. And
yeah.
Is that in your turn?
Yeah, I think that would be it. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't attack anybody. That's just not who I am. So, yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Then we are at the top of the round, of our first round. Top of the first round is Sam.
How far away is Ambrose / the door?
He's 15. You cannot see where he's pointing. It's clearly above you somewhere. The only stairs that you can see are across the room, and between you and those stairs is the poker table and a bunch of people that are now starting to file out of the building.
So it's would you say it's farther than 50 feet to get up there?
Yes, much further than 50. It's about for you. It's gonna about 120. It's gonna be 60 there, and then another 60 up and to the door, if that's where you're trying to go.
So how chaotic is it?
It's very chaotic right now. Movement anywhere towards the interior of the bar is going to be double movement because it's difficult.
Okay, so if I were to summon my phantom steed, how obvious would that be?
It would be super obvious. You could certainly do it. There's no rules against doing that. It may trample a couple of people in the process, but it's totally possible, and it's a thing that you can do.
I'm gonna do it.
All right.
What could go wrong?
Hey, I gave
Do
you
it.
the abilities. Use it.
Yeah.
She ain't Shantytown Sam. You know?
That's right. You described your mount as a dwarf-sized horse before.
That's right.
So she stands up and snaps her fingers, and on top of the table that you're all sitting at appears this dwarf-sized horse, ready to mount. And a couple of the people around you begin to scream in shock that this thing has appeared. Let me see.
It's a fire and a Shetland pony. Just
Sure enough, one person seems to be trampled as you climb up onto the horse and make your way towards the stairs. And as you look at as you look down at the person that you're trampling and make eye contact with them, with the fear in their eyes as the hoof crushes their left shoulder,
Sorry.
your mind's eye is transferred to another situation where you see this person taking guns out of a cabinet and handing it to Taz Miraz, taking another gun out, handing it to Shiny Tooth, and taking one other gun out and handing it to the person that Jefflin had an eye contact with. And you see this same individual grab 3 silver balls out of the cabinet and hand each one to Shiny Tooth, one to
Taz.
Taz, thank you, and one to the man that you saw make eye contact with Jefflin. And then you're brought right back to yeah, rightly so. And you just so you know, Jefflin and Sam, those 2 individuals are now considered sworn enemies. They are part of the murder plot that murdered you, as well as and you now know that. You get that feeling of a sense.
From your ability, were sworn enemies to Sam. Okay, no.
From your ability called the guilty can't hide. Sam, your apology is rescinded, and you make your way up the stairs. It is difficult movement, so you can make your way to the stairs even on the mount, and your mount begins to climb these wooden stairs.
Okay.
Does that end your turn, or do you have anything else?
That's my action and my movement.
And your movement.
As my bonus, I'll just go ahead and summon one of my guns to my hands.
Perfect. And as she rides up to the stairs, crushing that person with her horse, one of her guns appears in her hand.
Little
manifesting.
Do you still look like the NPC, or do you look like Samantha? Okay, great.
The thing is, no one's
human on a
tiny horse.
I mean, Sebastian's favorite terrain is people, so I mean...
Jefflin looks at Sal and goes, weirdly, she still looks kind of forgettable, even though she just summoned a phantom steed in the middle of a bar. Way to get away
with a crime.
And summoned a phantom gun, and yet I couldn't describe her to you.
No. It will not hold up in court.
It was a nonchalant, nondescript random person.
She was a man-woman thing. Wearing beige person.
Okay, so that is your turn, Erica / Sam.
Wearing all beige.
Next is Sal.
Okay, so I see where Sam is going.
Yes,
up the stairs and kind of like
impossible. A horse trampling through a tavern is impossible. I
guess what I mean is I see the reason why she's going. I see Blaze. I'm sure it's
you
pretty
saw
obvious.
Ambrose point to a spot that is above you. Yes.
All right, so I'll quickly whisper to Jefflin. All right, you need to take cover now because guns are coming out.
Okay.
And then I'll head. They're at the top of the stairs?
Yes.
And it's like, is there an area where I could get like a good aim at them from downstairs?
Get to aim at who specifically?
It's Blaze who's handing the guns out, right?
No. This was a vision that she had of seeing someone. So she's seeing the memories of the guilty.
Got it. Okay, I thought she was going because she saw them at the top of the stairs.
When she looked at the man that she trampled, she was seeing a vision of the guilty party.
Blaze and Greesh are still at the poker table.
They're still at the poker table,
30 feet away,
waiting to go their turn. Yes.
Okay.
They have clearly now are starting to react and pull their guns, and you can see that Blaze is working on his way to stand up from the table.
All right, so I will head up the stairs behind her. And is there like kind of like slats in between the railing?
The posts on the railing? There absolutely are.
Making it a hard shot if they're trying to hit me over there.
Gotcha. Using it as half cover. We'll call it half cover.
Yeah, half cover, I guess. And then how far away is that? I'm guessing that's my movement, 30 feet.
Well, that's going to be, it cost her about, her steed moves at 100 feet a second, cost her half, all of her movement and moved half. So it's difficult terrain for you, so you can move half of your speed.
So 15 feet.
15 feet.
So I'm like on the stairs at the bottom of the
you're
stairs?
not even, no, she's just starting to climb the stairs at 50, so you're going to have to move another a bit before
you're not going to be able to get to the stairs this turn.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go as far as I can behind a chair and then draw my weapon.
All right.
And that's a bonus action, yeah?
Yep, bonus action to summon the weapon into your hand, yep.
Yeah, and then I'm going to aim for, who's sitting next to Blaze?
Granger Greesh and 3 other fellows.
Hand on his gun, I can see it. I guess whoever's in my eyesight from where I am.
Yeah, it's clear that everyone at the table is standing up and going for guns.
Okay, so I'm going to aim for his holstered gun belt, basically trying to like shoot that off.
Okay.
With my pistol.
Okay.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
You're going to use your disarming shot?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is an ability offered to her from her. Oh, excuse me. You chose vengeance, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm trying to disarm him. I'm not using a special shot.
Okay. You're just you're just trying to shoot at that to disarm.
Yeah, with a pistol. Yeah.
I don't think I have the ability that allows you to do that.
I have a gunner.
Oh, gunner.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
Does that work?
I'm not familiar with the gunner, but we'll say sure.
I can tell you what it is.
Yes.
Right now. 1 second. Ignore the loading property of firearms. Begin within 5 feet of a hostile creature. Doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged attacker rolls. I don't know that.
It doesn't have anything specifically about disarming shots. So
there are particular, like the gunslinger has a particular shot that allows them to disarm.
Can I just aim and attempt to do that?
You sure can. It will be very difficult for you to do so, but I will assign a DC and certainly let you do that. I'll give you a dexterity.
Sal's a cocky teenager.
Attack. Let's give you an attack roll. We'll give you a normal attack roll.
Young 20-something. I mean, I imagine I'll hit him.
I imagine, yes, if you're aiming for that specific spot, a certain amount of room will allow, you'll still hit him, whether you disarm that or not.
Yeah, I mean, basically for his hand, I guess, then, basically, if it doesn't.
Yep. Yeah, I got you.
Cool. Well, I rolled a 16 to hit.
To hit, and what's your addition with the gun?
Well, that's with my,
Oh, that's with the addition.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
16, you actually miss him completely, and as you make the shot, it kind of ricochets off the wood, and seems to catch somebody.
These DCs are high,
and seems to catch somebody who's panicking in a kneecap, and they tumble to the ground and scream out in pain.
Oh no!
Sorry, I'll see if my brother can help you later. He's kind of mad at me right now, though, so maybe not.
You hear up above from like the rafters. You just hear, "Dang it, Sal!"
All right, that's all my stuff. I did a bonus action also. So
okay, 1 second.
Dang, 16 DC
for just to hit him. I think
just to hit him. That's really hard.
His AC's high. He's the villain.
That was Blaze?
Yeah.
That was Blaze.
Okay.
Ambrose, what is your dexterity modifier?
All right. It's bad, actually.
All right.
All right.
It's -1.
-1. Okay. You hear some ruffling going on behind the door. Just some sounds like maybe something's being moved.
I'll just be like, "Oh, they're ruffling."
I know that sound anywhere.
It is now your turn, Ambrose.
Some ruffling going on in there.
Dang. Okay, so that means I lost a spell slot because it never popped off. Sad panda. Okay. Well, there goes another one. Luckily, I will keep making my way over to that door that I saw. And since they went in and they're not coming out, I'm just gonna use Eldritch Blast on the door. You know, it worked the first time, and warlocks are known to breach. So apparently,
Absolutely.
Door killer.
Door killer.
It's door slayer. You know, just go from every
the door slayer.
That's a new feat coming out.
That's right.
Yeah.
watch for it. I'll write it in the thing and
Very good.
load it up. That is gonna be a 15 and a 15. Another 15.
Both hit the door.
All right.
Make your damage roll.
Bane of doors.
7
Ambrose, Bane of doors.
and 20 total.
Wow. 20 total. That also blows that door in. And just as those splinters start to explode inward, a couple catching what looks like a Harangon man laying down flat on the ground with a hunting rifle pointed at you. A couple of those splinters seem to enter his face and do a little bit of damage, but it's too late for you as he decides to pull the trigger.
Oh no! Wascally Wabbit.
Sure is.
It is certainly a wascally wabbit. Does a 27 hit your AC?
Yeah.
Weird.
I
Tell
reckon it
he's
does.
moved something out of the way in front of the door. It looks like a dresser, and pushed it aside so that he could get 10 feet away from the door and lay down and do this.
Smart.
Sneaky. That was that rustling.
Mm-hmm. That's them rustling. No good could be happening when there's some rustling.
No.
And this is a readied action.
Wow, I was ready for hit. I see. Okay.
It was who's gonna go through the door first. All right, you take 21 points of piercing damage as a sniper bullet grazes you in the shoulder, blowing a hole in it and out the back.
Ow.
That when you look at the gun, it looks like a real nice gun.
A real nice one.
It looks real shiny, and it seems to have what looks like a little bit of etching on the side. Might be runes of some sort.
Ah.
I want it.
Magic gun.
Give me it.
Magic gun. Next is Granger Greesh, who stands and pulls two tiny revolvers and starts looking around at the chaos that's going on, and you see him launch one into the ceiling, firing the gun in the ceiling, which causes more people to panic and react and begin to make the even more of a chaotic scene inside the raised gambler. And as a bonus action, he attempts to hide behind some bigger people and disappear into the crowd.
Okay.
It disappears from view.
Do I see where he goes since I'm flying up above and invisible? Or no?
Yeah, I'll give you a perception check since you're basically, he doesn't know that you're there to hide from you.
Nope. That's a 11.
Yeah, unfortunately,
That's fine.
you see
I'm
him
more
disappear.
more focused on other things. It makes sense.
He disappears into the crowd. Next is Ranger. Next is Ambrose went. Jefflin, it is your turn.
Okay. So Blaze and all of his people are still standing around the table.
Yeah, I
getting
rolled real
prepared to
bad
jump.
for breaches.
That's fine.
Initiative.
What is Jedediah hasn't? He's still knitting. Jedediah.
Jedediah has not moved.
Okay,
at all.
got it.
And it kind of seems like he had an opportunity to move and just sort of sat there.
Interesting. Okay, I'm going to get under the table. So I'm going to hide under the table. And with my action, I'm going to look over at Blaze and his guys gathered around the table. I can no longer see Granger, but I will use my action to cast Grease.
Oh, okay, great.
Around it is a 10-foot radius, basically right in the middle of where Blaze and his men are. And so I basically will pull a stick of butter out of one of my many things, and I will like quickly cut off a small piece and just toss it as I'm saying,
and then a big 10-foot area of grease. Is it 10-foot radius?
It's I believe it's 10-foot radius. So yeah, it's like pretty much the middle of the 10-foot square. It's a 10-foot square. I don't want to stop all the people running for the exit, but definitely I'm aiming for Blaze and his people
people at the table. That's
to be hindered.
Perfect. So
I just imagine the grease is actually just butter. It's
it's just like
it's the acne butter. That's what happens.
it's like that butter flavoring from movie theater popcorn. But it smells great.
Use it to lubricate gears and also cook eggs. Who
That's
knows?
correct. So they all have to make dex saving throws.
Perfect. All
and
four
that
of
is
them are
now
hit by that because
Great.
the table is a 10-foot square. So
Great.
And
that is now difficult terrain.
Difficult terrain. All right, Breach. I'll do Breach Heart first. Let me make sure I don't have any disadvantages or advantages going on. I do not. Breach Heart's dexterity saving throws a 16.
It succeeds. My DC is 15.
So he doesn't fall prone, right? But it's still difficult terrain.
It's still difficult terrain, but he doesn't slip and fall.
His cowboy minions are not as lucky. One of them, nat one's right in, immediately stands up and slips, slams his head on the table, knocks himself unconscious, and falls backwards into the crowd. And the other one is a 13.
Yeah, fails. Yep.
And he also slips, but doesn't slam his head on the table and is able to to recover and roll onto the ground. But panicking people seem to quickly step on top of him and kind of trample him a bit.
Oh no!
All right. Next is Breachheart Blaze. Breachheart stands up and says, "Someone's been casting magic!" And he looks up from where he saw the explosion, seeing Ambrose by the stairs. Breachheart looks up at you, Ambrose, and you see him pull out a mouth harp and go boing, 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 begins to vicious mock you.
What?
Rude?
He's also a bard. Yep,
He's
absolutely.
a bard?
He's a bard. Part gunslinger, part bard. That's correct. And his trained music item is a mouth harp. So he looks at you and he says, "That bone looks like it's been missing long enough, and I did it." Make a wisdom saving throw.
Wow.
It is a 14.
Your brain hurts a bit.
Sure.
Take 2 points of psychic damage, and the next roll, the next attack roll that you make is at disadvantage.
Okay.
Dang.
It's a good spell.
Climbs. He carefully makes his way beyond the greased, difficult terrain, and jump and dives over the bar.
Okay.
Next is Jared. Al.
So what exactly do I see from my vantage point?
So from your vantage point,
Yeah,
point, what you see is a man who's knocked himself out on a table, who is now lying on the ground and being trampled. You see another man who's tried to get up quickly and respond to the action, slip and fall into the ground, and is also now being trampled.
At the stairs, Sam has trampled over a few people, a person in the tavern, and her horse has jumped from table to table to the stairs and is beginning to climb the stairs on the horse. And you have Sal, who's hiding behind a chair halfway towards the stairs, just catty corner to you, seems to be aiming and took a pot shot at Breachheart Blaze. And you see Jefflin, who's now underneath the table, with a Jedediah who is still yet to move.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And I know nothing about what's happening with Ambrose. Do I know that Ambrose has been shot and all that?
You can probably hear and see all that.
Yeah, I mean, you can see all of that. You're in the heart of the thing, so there's not really much you aren't able to put eyes on right now, other than the interior of each of the rooms.
Is it possible for me to stay within 60 feet of Sal, but still get within,
Within holster range of Ambrose?
No, I think I have to be within, within 60 feet of you.
Okay.
Can I do that?
60, yeah, I mean, where you
Actually,
are right now, you're within 60 feet of both of them.
Oh, I am. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go for the gusto. I'm gonna fly down behind Breachheart Blaze so that I'm right behind him.
Yep.
And say, the Empress would like a word with you. And then I'm gonna banish him to another
planet. Wow. Okay.
All right. What's the saving throw?
He gets to make a charisma saving throw. He is part bard though.
He is a bard. I have no advantages. It looks like, and no disadvantages. So this is straight roll for me.
Okay.
I'm guessing a 4 fails. 7, excuse me. A 7 fails.
Yeah, that fails.
Just as he's diving over the bar, Al, invisible to everyone else until actually, does this even break your?
It breaks.
It does, right? Because of concentration, right?
Yeah.
Al appears suddenly as Breachheart Blaze poofs out of existence from behind the bar. And now Al is behind the bar with the bartender who is now... Al, you can see the bartender who looks suspiciously like your sister is kind of hiding and clearly very afraid of what's going on.
Okay.
You see him kind of eyeballing a shotgun that is right behind you, kind of hidden underneath a part of where the lower part of where the alcohol is. But you can clearly tell that that's more of a panic and how do I protect myself than it is a. It doesn't seem like this individual is necessarily part of the militia part of Breachheart's crew.
Yeah, I'll look at him. I mean you no harm, and he will be fine after he has been properly judged. And then I'm going to look up at my my friend Ambrose, and with my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on him.
Oh, thanks.
So, Ambrose, you get back 8 hit points.
That is great.
Nice.
And that would be my turn.
All right. Now it's all of the rest of the Cowboys' turn and the rest of everyone in the tavern. And quickly, people begin to start pushing themselves towards the exit. There are a couple of individuals who appear to be dressed as normal townsfolk who tip over tables and get behind them, pulling firearms and looking around for individuals who are to try to make sense of what's happening in the chaos around them. And pretty quickly, most of the people exit the tavern in their one round, because if they didn't take 2 actions to get out of there, they're already close enough to the door. Or 2 movements, their action is moving to get out of there.
Do I catch sight of Granger?
You make a perception check for me. I'll give you a perception check on that since you were staring at him hard the whole time.
Definitely looking for him. Just a 15. Okay. You can't see where he's at currently, but it looks like the direction that he moved the last time you saw him looks like it took him towards where the entertainment section of the tavern is, maybe behind the piano.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Let me make sure that's right. Yep. All right. Top of the round, there is a large, incredible pressure that all of a sudden enters into the room, blowing all of the windows out on the top floor and any on the bottom. And you hear,
I've come for my vengeance, and my avatar has led the way.
Oh, what?
Miraz, you shall be held accountable for your sins.
And appearing, floating in the center of the tavern, appears a woman made completely of mist. From head to toe, she is draped in what looks like lace, floating in the middle of the tavern, staring at the door and looking at Ambrose. And you hear her say,
Ambrose, bring me his head.
No, I'll just say, it's good to see you, baby. And I'm gonna start walking over towards Taz.
all right, it is now, we're at the top of the round. Sam, it is your turn.
I'd like to ride my horse the rest of the way to the door.
Yeah, absolutely. There's now no real difficult terrain. There's, up the stairs is difficult terrain for your horse. But with 100-foot movement of this phantom steed, there's plenty enough time and movement to get to the door. Now, your steed is going to be a little bit big to fit through the door to get to Taz, who is currently laying prone on the floor, just having shot at Ambrose. But if you do dismount, you would still have enough movement to literally get 5 feet from him.
Yeah, I'd like to dismount, and I'd like to.
She dismounts by the horse. The horse just disappears. It just sort of disappears. She just puts her feet down, and the horse disappears.
Handy.
And I would like.
She's taller after she dismounts.
I'd like to have summoned my hunting rifle.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to. Is this a time when I could use the 3 and they're dead?
Absolutely. When you take a look at Taz Miraz, you again seeing this guilting Haringen man's memories, you are transferred to the day that your parents were murdered. And from high in the town of Olsvach, this man took a shot on not just your father, but also your mother. It's clear that his intended target was not your mother, but just your father, but the bullet penetrated both him and her, killing both of them and leaving you an orphan. You also then immediately transfer to that night. You see all of the men I've described before seem to be riding quickly and quietly in the night, setting up an ambush spot and watching as all of you roll into up to Jedediah's house, and then you're transferred back into this reality, and Ambrose, you can see that her eyes begin to shine yellow as she looks at Taz and pulls the gun.
And I'd like to actually drop my disguise at this point
Sure.
while I have the gun
Absolutely.
pointed at him.
Ooh, yeah.
Great.
And I'm gonna take my 3 shots against him.
Make 3 attacks, please.
And it says I can do
This
it at
hunting rifle is one of those quick
Repeaters.
repeaters. Thank you.
And this
Quick
is-
repeaters that she can use this.
at advantage.
It
Can make 3
is
attacks.
at advantage. That is correct. You also do have advantage from Chef Scott 68.
Whoop whoop.
Go Chef.
You already have advantage on all three of these shots. So we will save those for your next roll.
Okay.
But go ahead and make them.
The first the first one is going to be a 27 to hit.
That
Wait,
hits
no.
for sure.
Yes, 27. The next
hits.
one is going to be 26 to hit.
That also
I did
hits.
my math wrong. The first one was a 25. This is a 26. And the third
Still
one
hits.
is going to be a natural 20.
Whoa!
Let's go.
So
Absolutely.
Those dice were just slow playing you.
That rabbit.
Sam rides her dwarf-sized steed up the stairs, around the banister to the front of the door, standing as it dissipates, holding her hand out as the gun manifests in front of her, dropping her disguise, her eyes blazing yellow as she stares at Taz. And Taz, seeing this person, fear washing over his face as he sees all of these abilities, and he stands up beginning to say something, and before he can say a word, 3 shots ring out. One knocking the gun out of Taz's hands, the second straight in the heart, and as he looks down realizing that he's been shot and looking at you, the third right between the eyes, blowing the back of his head out against the wall as his body slumps against the ground and
Oh
falls
my.
to the ground. You hear an everlasting large scream, and the ground begins to shake violently as the whole town, as an earthquake. This begins to, everybody make dexterity saving throws as the ground begins to shake. What you hear, I won't
Does
scream
anyone
it
have
because
advantage?
I don't want
Yes.
to, oh, thank you. Yes. Advantages to Jared from Chef Scott 68. Thank you,
thanks,
Chef Scott
Scott.
68.
Chef
Also to Morgan from Chef Scott 68. Katie from Chef Scott 68.
Thank you, Scott.
Erica, Chef Scott 68, and also Michael,
Thanks.
Chef Scott 68.
I thank you for the advantage, but I just rolled a 3 and a 5, so a 7.
You're already laying on the ground in butter, though.
That's that acne butter, you know? It's
I slip on my own butter. That's what
He's
happened.
fallen, but he's delicious.
You are crunched to the ground behind a table, but
That's
it
right.
is still enough to knock you down and kind of on the ground. And
Sure.
the DC was 15, so if you rolled lower than 15, you are now knocked prone.
I got
as-
exactsies.
I got a
As the
23.
I got
entire
another nat
town of
20.
Great. Nice. As the town begins to rumble, and you hear from the floating woman in the center of the room,
My vengeance has been stolen from me. You, Ambrose, and your meddling friends shall die this evening.
Wait a minute, what?
Aw,
And
not
the-
again.
and the entire building of the grazed gambler crumbles on top of you.
What?
Not like this.
My bad.
Oops.
The rest of the building, as the building crumbles inside, the crowd outside watching as all of this has happened, the chaos is gone almost as quickly as it arose. And as the night air seems, all that can be heard are Granger Grease's thump, thump. There's some movement in the wreckage of the building. And our 5 characters, only survivors of the crumbling of the tavern, pull themselves standing high. Clearly, parts of their bodies have been crushed, now beginning to heal themselves back to normal. And as they stand in the wreckage and walk out into the street, the rest of the individuals who are watching sort of react and back up in terror. And you hear Jared,
Yes.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh God.
Is this for the spell?
Yes.
Okay. This is from my banishment, keeping concentration?
Yes.
I have advantage because I took Warcaster.
Nice.
And I don't know how much damage I took.
You took 15.
Oh, okay. Then I probably made it because I got 14 on my save.
Yep. So you feel that energy slip from your mind as the tavern crumbles in on you, but your fervent damage reduction helped all of you stay alive. So all of you take 15. Ambrose, you take 30.
Yep.
Well,
you are not a fervent.
Sal's actually going to take half of that, and I'm going to take more because of the warding bond.
So then you will take 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In addition to the 15 that you took
Yeah.
on your own? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It rounds down.
22. Yep.
Yeah, it rounds down. And as you stand there in the middle of the street, Anya, on the edges of town, appears.
Why did you do that?
You, excuse me?
I asked for one thing, Ambrose. One from you. I trusted you to bring me the head of Tazmaraz, and you allowed this thing to steal it from me.
Wait.
You could still go get the head if you really want it.
I got this. Don't worry.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
You know, Anya, just take this as our official breakup. And I'm going to try and Eldritch Blast. Or, yeah, I want to try and Eldritch Blast her. I know my powers come from her, but I don't know. Ambrose is feeling himself.
Why not?
Ambrose has been courted by so many people.
Absolutely, for sure.
His confidence is sky high.
Yeah.
Ambrose, as you go to pull the Eldritch Blast, all of your abilities and magic disappear from your body, and almost to the point of all of the damage that you sustained and that undying energy that you were given drains from you, and it starts to take hold of you, but then you feel it as you fall and your hand touches the ground. You wipe a little bit of the dust away, and you notice that just below where the tavern was sitting, there appears to be a large yellow crystal that makes up the entire floor underneath the floorboard of the tavern. And as you touch it, your body reforms, and you are now one of the Justicar.
I will also, from that spell that was saved from Jefflin from that ring, because that doesn't come from her anymore, it's stored. I'm gonna summon the. I'm gonna get my ring and essentially put my fist into a ball and just tighten down on it, and you'll see the ring start to get all shadowy. And I'm just gonna summon the shadow spawn right next to her.
Okay. And you see him touch this gem. His skin begins to glow, much like Al and Jefflin's. His items seem to those that were damaged or destroyed appear to reform with no damage. His face, the part of where his eye was missing, regrows, and the bone and the skin flaps back over it and seals his face as if he has never taken any damage whatsoever. And as he turns the ring and crushes it towards her, another earthquake. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw. Advantages. Erica, Chef's got 68. Advantage for you. Everyone else straight roll as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I still rolled a 25.
I will use my inspiration that I got from Ron last session.
Nice. Yeah, if you have
Yeah.
inspiration, remember to use it if you have not yet.
And I will also use my reaction for Flash of Genius to give Ambrose a +4 to his dexterity save.
Great.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I rolled a 19.
13.
I'm still a 10.
Still a 10?
Yeah.
Luckily, Ambrose, you fall to the ground, but as you're concentrating on the ring and at this woman, the ground beneath the tavern begins to shake, almost as if you yourself. It shakes at the same rate at which you're shaking your fist in anger at Anya, who has taken from you your freedom, who has cursed you to follow her and do her bidding. And in this moment, a very large yellow crystal rises from the ground underneath the tavern, glowing with the same intensity as your eyes in your feeling of hatred and distrust of this patron. And you send it flying towards her. There's a large explosion as it reaches her. And when the explosion clears and everyone shields their eyes from the large blinding light in the middle of the night, you look back, all that is left of Anya is a mist.
It's gonna brush my shoulders off. That was the best breakup I've ever had. I don't know about any.
All of you can see that Go ahead.
You're just so cool, Ambrose. I mean, I know we beat around the bush a little bit, but like, I mean, I don't thank you for keeping me. I feel blessed to hang out with all of you. But honestly,
I was just gonna mage hand Ambrose a horse spear.
I'm just gonna be like, I mean, part of it was thank you for the friendship ring. So
I'm glad that came in handy. I thought it might. I'm flattered that you used it.
Yep.
As you are all discussing this in the open dark, as all of the town is literally.
Is everyone okay?
Just get. We're gonna have some horse beers unless you want to stay.
Everybody make perception checks.
Ron, quick question for you.
Absolutely.
Is Blaze, is he from this plane of existence?
Yes.
He'll be back.
Okay. He'll be back then.
He will.
18.
Perception?
Any advantages or we're good?
No advantages or disadvantages as I'm aware.
Rolled on that one.
Oh no.
11.
Sal,
Back
you
to-
are just too concerned with what's happening in the crowd.
He's passing out horse beers.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
looking
what it
for
is.
the bartender,
Oh,
or I imagine them like.
It appears that the bartender did not make it out of the bar.
Oh,
Okay, I take my glasses off. I can look like that now.
Now the new
steal
bartender.
his life.
I changed my bandana color to his bandana color.
What was everybody else's? What was everybody
cold-blooded.
else's perception check? 8?
Path of Vengeance, baby.
12.
18.
DC's 10. It's not very difficult. You can see that from below the tavern where Ambrose had taken the stone from underneath the ground and thrown it at Anya, there appears to be a very large empty hole, probably 100 feet deep. And as you look over the side, you can see what looks like a very large clump. If you've ever seen the inside of a geode, like of an amethyst geode,
Yeah.
it looks like that, but if you took it and inverted it, so that the inside of the geode is on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
It's yellow, glowing, just as the ones in your chest. And as you look at it, you realize that it is glowing in the same rhythm that a heartbeat does. Thump, thump. Thump, thump. And you can see that the crystals in your chest also seem to respond to that thump, 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 thump. thump, thump, and another earthquake. This time, it's bigger than it was before.
Oh no,
Man.
just falling all over ourselves.
Areas around the hole begin to crumble inward. And it's clear that the town of Ricochet begins to sink into the sands of the savagery.
Everybody run!
Can I bonus action fly?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Anyone not trying to run, let me know.
Sal didn't know any of this. She's busy changing her bandana.
I was
I mean,
gonna go
it's
scoop-
hard for no one. It's hard.
I guess
for
that once
anyone
the
not to
earthquake
notice.
happened,
Yeah.
she would
It's
notice.
shaking,
yeah.
and you see, Sal, you see that the other individuals start to get this real quickly, and they start
Yeah.
running into the dark.
I'll summon my steed then, if I can.
Is there no
Yeah,
sign of
absolutely.
Granger Greesh in the
There seems
wreckage
to
of
be
the bar?
no sign of Granger Greesh.
Not today, I guess. And I will summon my steed, and I'll start to not trample anybody, but I will also like, yeah, get out, come on, and like calling out basically people to herding people out of the city if possible.
I will summon a misty, smoky steed because obviously I can do that now. With horse whiskeys, not horse beers. We need something a little bit
Oh,
more.
very nice. Hitting the hard stuff.
Stepping it up a bit. And as you all ride out of the range of the falling and the sinking town of Ricochet, you hear a thump as Breachheart Blaze pops back into existence where he was left before and falls into the falling town of Ricochet.
Oh,
Wow.
this makes me think
As
of
the town crumbles into the dirt and the sands and swallowed by the savagery, our 5 heroes left with the shards in their chests and their search for vengeance, left unfulfilled as one Granger Greesh got away. And that is the story of a town called Ricochet.
Can Jefflin say one more thing?
Absolutely.
As we're sort of standing at the edge of the crater, I just, whether we're alive or whether we're undead, I don't know, but I'm happy we're together and to feel things, and these seem to really respond to feelings and respond to our pain, and reminds me something what my family used to say, which is that life is pain. It's been a family motto for decades, and lets you know you're alive. And I'm happy to be alive with all of you. Vengeance or justice or whatever, but just wanted to say that.
Good speech, Jefflin.
Thank you. It's not my best. I have a charisma of 8, so it's not.
It's bad. It's just as bad as the city planning of Ricochet. So I mean,
Yeah, that was not great.
Yeah, some engineers are.
For our watchers,
Some
if
guessed
you were-
it right away.
for our watchers, if you were around the town of Ricochet about an hour or two later, you would see one Jedediah Goodson climb his way out of the hole.
Yeah, what?
Except for one tiny, small detail. As he pulls his mask and his disguise falls away, and he walks into the darkness, a crystal man walks away from the source, glowing yellow into the dark and disappearing from view.
Ooh.
And that is our story.
Ah!
A lot of open-endedness there, a lot of things I did not answer. I'm hoping that there may be another opportunity for us to tell the next part of the story.
I blame Samantha personally. She killed the rabbit, and that's everything
Hey,
went bad.
Look,
from
I
there.
gave you a goal. Went for the goal. I love it.
Look, Samantha has a one-track mind, okay? And Ambrose, I'm sorry I didn't get to help you
You're
in your
good.
vengeance.
Oh no!
I mean, none of
Shantytown
us knew.
Sam with a repeater, ain't nothing stopping her. I know.
Done and
So for
done.
those of you who are playing out, watching at home, Sam was a vengeance or a Vindicar, a Vindicar fervent, and she had an ability called 3 and They're Dead. You've seen it used before by Jedediah Goodson on the
the
man who was shot down in town.
Well done, Ron.
Well, thank you.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ron, well then Michael, well then Erica,
I know. This was
and
so
Jared and
wonderful.
Morgan.
Yeah, you're fine.
If you want to know more about some of what happened, I highly recommend that you watch the cooldown on Monday. I'll be talking all about it, and unless it's dealing with next part of the story that I want to tell, I will be giving away spoilers and things that you didn't get to see. to
You get a
understand
spoiler, and
everything.
you get a
You get a
spoiler.
spoiler.
Yeah.
That's just one of the beautiful things that our Patreons allow us to afford another show, and that you can get early access to if you join our Patreon. In addition, another thing that we do at the end of each of our shows, we read out some of the names of our Patreon supporters in improv styles, and that's where we're going right now.
Right now.
So, do we want to include our guests, or is it just
I
us
think
four?
I think we
Yeah.
absolutely
For sure.
should.
I'll try.
You know, well,
I'll do
and
my best.
you've
We
got
saw
the
it
list.
last week, so
Yeah,
We've got the list. We got the list here. So we're
Okay.
going to start with Force of Good.
Okay.
And our Force of Good this week, let's see. I'm not going to include myself this time because I did them last time.
That's fine.
I thought the rule was if you're the DM,
As
you don't,
the
you don't
DM.
have to do them.
you don't. It's the special. It was a special occasion.
Yeah, of course. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I loved
I know.
it. All right, so it will be Katie Michaels because I rolled a 5. Our Force of Good is to read the names off like your job is to invent names for crayons.
Okay. And you guys can join in just because it's me, just so you know. It's not good. All right.
All right, Sally, you're not allowed to leave this room until you name all of these new crayon colors. You got it?
Yeah, the kids are demanding a 572 pack now, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but I mean, we only really had previous enough names for 300, so
Yeah.
And please, can we stay away from the names of colors that are also foods like red and blue and yellow? Thank you.
Gentlemen, please, I'm going to name these crayons if you leave me alone.
all right, please, just
You,
get
you
to
are
it.
you are the naming expert, so
Yes, that's why you hired me.
That's
Okay,
right.
I am
That's
5
right.
years old and I know exactly what I'm doing. I know what the people want.
It's definitely against some labor laws, but okay, go ahead.
I have parental consent. Okay, listen. All right, let me smell this one. Okay, it smells like Armando 89, which is what I call my breakfast. Okay, so this is gonna be, it's like a juicy red color, and I think it's gonna be Hadrian X because it feels like a juice box, you know?
Adrian X.
Hadrian
Okay,
Like
that's
it.
great.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
you-
already
You
starting
know what?
very
We brought
strange.
in a couple more kids, maybe to help you out, since there's so many different colors.
Oh,
Yes,
excellent.
go
Erica,
ahead.
Michael,
Kids,
my
kids.
best friends.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay,
what-
I'm gonna hold this up and you can tell me what color it is, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
See, now
yeah.
that was originally chartreuse.
Okay,
Mm-hmm,
these moderators really want to talk a lot and they really want to like jump in and name the stuff for us, but as kids we have to stand up for our rights.
Yeah, we
All
all been
right.
to art school, so I mean we're good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can color inside the lines.
yeah, okay. I'm just saying the adults are always gonna want to control us. Okay, okay.
All right.
Will
So-
Bronner, Bilbo
Bilbo Jr. I got it.
That-
Will
yep.
No, I think Will Broshner is actually rolls off the tongue quite
Yeah.
well. Yes,
I
yes.
do like a Will Broshner. Yes.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, adults. How many times do I have to say it?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
We're the
just-
namers.
Trust the process, and I'm gonna.
Okay,
grab-
it's Wilbro Jr. We work as a team.
We won't say
Oh my
anything.
gosh, I am
All right,
going to
you're
be talking to
beautiful.
my mom about this later.
This crayon.
Oh yes, good.
It
This is
tastes.
processed.
Its color is Fenderil. I think that's the.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yes.
I know
Love
that
it.
flavor and color very well.
Yes. Okay, this one I'm leaning towards kind of like a livestock color, right? Because it's like kind of like chocolate milk.
Earthy.
So I think this is like the kind of milk you want to be. So this is like IR moo cow.
Yeah, moo cow. Yes.
Okay.
That sounds like a young child named a color, so we like it.
Yeah,
Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Everyone
the
will
adults
understand.
approve. Okay.
Should we like maybe make a list and then give it to the adults at the end? Because I mean, do they need to approve everything on the way?
It seems like they feel more comfortable with that, even though no, technically they don't. Like this is our job, but like it just makes them feel important. Okay, it's all they have
HR
left.
actually makes us supervise you as small children in a workplace. But I mean, just
well, I know
you
they
do-
call us the Gold family, how we operate here, but
Yes.
it's terrible. I don't agree with HR. It's not great.
that's
Yeah.
very
Well,
true.
I
Okay.
think it's just
We'll
like
have
the
to let
kids.
HR know that you don't agree with HR.
Yeah.
Fine. Go ahead, Erica.
Well, I was just saying that I think really it's just Jules. Like we might be the Gold family, but the kids are really just the Jules.
Yeah, we're just the jewels. We're the jewels. Okay.
You're the
process.
jewels of the crayon naming world. Continue.
Ooh, the dungeon run! Yay!
Ooh, that's the
Yay!
one. Yeah, that one.
I
This
like
is
that's
the
a good
one.
one.
This is the best.
That's the most
color.
gray crayon I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Kind of a
So
longer name for a
bright.
crayon. but okay,
Dungeon.
yeah.
It's
The dungeon run!
perfect.
Yay! Use a smaller font.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Why didn't I think of that?
Okay. Okay. This one, oh, Erica, this one kind of looks like your cat.
Oh, my kitty scritches.
Yeah. Okay. That's this color. This is like
Yeah,
a tan
that's
color. It's like her cat.
It's just like my cat.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, Michael, remember when it was winter and you got frostbite because you didn't come in when your mom told you to?
Yeah, that was the winter, the cold candor winter. That one.
Yeah, that's what you named it, and I think that's what this is.
Yeah.
This is
Is
the
that-
blue that your fingers were.
Yeah, was that
I remember that. I almost lost this one.
Yeah.
was that the winter where we stayed at Bob Harris's cabin?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he had all the pumunky juices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, "That's my past decisions," and we were like, "That's your past decisions, buddy."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why did it
Not
taste so
ours.
bitter? I don't.
Yeah. It's classic grandpa, you know.
Mhm.
Okay. This one is kind of sciencey to me.
Yeah, it's like a nice green.
Yeah, it's really green, and this is like science. So I feel like what are the glass things are like?
Yeah. The beaker part.
Yeah, this is like a beaker par. It's a beaker
Yeah.
par. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and Ida Kai, what this is?
Mm-mm. No.
It's
Okay.
a cat eater.
Well, it's really brown. You know, when
Yeah.
someone has been trekking across the Sahara.
Ooh. It's like one time my dad's like, "I'm gonna go on a walkabout and be a desert wanderer."
That's it.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
one.
this one. There's so many brown crayons in this.
We took a lot of colors and mixed them all together, and it kind of just all
yeah.
looks like different shades of brown.
We're
So-
hoping
turns out
we're hoping
kids
browns
love
are
the color
very
brown.
in this year. Yeah.
This is the classic adult decision. If
Your
you're asking
beiges,
me.
your ecrus, your off whites, your mother of pearls, all of them.
Also
Continue.
your
That's why we're in
chartreuses.
charge of naming all of
Yeah.
them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This one is like a real light brown, but we got to make it sound fun, you guys, because these are getting old.
It reminds
That's
me of the
brown.
hair color of this kid. He was this hyper boy 66 in my class.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Yeah.
Let's name this tan crayon after him.
I heard he has
Okay.
cooties.
Whatever. Okay, well,
Well,
cool.
Unlike
Seraphi-
unlike Sephiri and Barbia, they don't have cooties at all.
No,
I
they
think
don't
they're
have
great.
cooties.
Oh no.
I give them hugs all the time.
Seraphi and Breva, Seraphi and Breva are gonna come in tomorrow to name it, but they're on spring break right now with their
Are they
Now
bringing?
this crayon is one of our new ones. It's black, but with some glitter in it. So when you color it, it's black with glitter.
Oh, I like that one.
That's cool. I like glitter.
Yeah.
It makes me think of the sign from the Sloppy Goats Bakery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They got the best muffins.
Should we
Okay.
name it Sloppy Goat?
I think we should name it Sloppy Ghosts. I definitely think that. Okay, this one is kind of like a deeper mauve. And
Good word.
She knows
Yeah.
mauve, yeah.
She knows
Very
mauve.
I am a
nice.
color expert. I know mauve.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the mauve in that the quest keeper, the board game. It's the same packaging.
Yeah,
Same
that's
packaging. I
one of
think
my
we should do
favorite
a
games.
a sponsorship. I think this grant, I'm going to put this in the notes. There should be sponsorship with Quest Keeper, the board game.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're like kind of sponsoring it special.
Great.
Okay, that's all then.
You really are
Well,
the
thank
best
you,
kids at this.
Yeah,
The
thank
best
you so
kids.
much.
Thanks.
That's why you hired us.
Yes.
Where's
And
the
because
money?
you're very cheap, we
The
actually
money
pay
there.
you like
Yeah.
much less than adults.
I
Pennies on the
actually
dollar.
got a couple boxes of donuts from the Sloppy Goats Bakery to say thank
Yeah.
you
Yes,
to each
yeah.
of you. Yeah.
That's good. We'll be eating those after our nap. Okay.
Great. Yes. Yeah. Contractual naps.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm very glad that the crayons are non-toxic because I'm pretty sure our Michael child here just ate about 4 of them.
Yeah, you ate about half of those.
They're delicious.
Great, great.
The only
That's
way
how
is the
he-
next
that's-
2 colors are.
Okay, that's part of the naming process.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
you gotta
guess.
try it. All right.
And you know
Hey, well done.
Hey. That was by far our longest reading of games ever.
No,
I don't know.
great.
I feel like Jessica had one that went on for like a
Oh, yeah.
solid 10
That's
minutes.
true. That's true. That was
All
like
right,
that was
we're
like a
now-
one-act play, right there.
Yeah.
We're now on to our team force of evil. And these will be read off by one Morgan Peter Brown
Great.
Yay.
Let's go.
Perfect.
as
Let's go.
as a Batman villain.
Oh boy.
Riddle
that
me
as you will.
this, Batman! Are you down to clown, or perhaps you will J-rock your way to Gotham National Bank?
Look, Riddler, I know I've been tied to this post, but it doesn't mean you have to terrorize me with these silly riddles.
Perhaps you will listen to Mr. Gorban Plade, for it is I have used... it is I, Bane, working in contest with the Riddler.
Oh no.
And we have found the secret of the Forest Elf 86 compound. Can you understand anything I'm saying?
Yes. Really.
Yes, you can. Surprisingly.
Yes, excellent. Yes. I think I'm nuts. Hello, Batman.
Wait, you're all working together?
That's right. It's Bane, the Riddler, and me, Jared Leto's Joker, the student of Grimm.
Hold on. It's Dark House because I am Mr. Ice.
Oh no, it's everyone's favorite. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze.
It's Mr. Freeze. It's Dr. Freeze.
Yeah, you
Dark
know.
House and Willie Matson, they're coming too. Come on.
Is Willie Matson a freeze pun? I don't remember it.
Little did you know that Willie Matson is actually Robin in disguise. Robin, get him!
No! Foiled again!
Blam, plow, flap.
These adults do weird things during their break
Terrible.
time.
Just terrible. I can't even nap through this right now.
I thought we sent the kids home. Oh, man, this is
Oh,
embarrassing.
no.
Oh,
behind
man.
behind the scenes of the three executives. of
This
the
was our
Crayon
corporate
Factory.
warm down after we're done with the show. I don't.
Corporate worm down. You need it.
I'm so sorry.
Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone.
Act 2 of our 2-act play.
Oh, and a shout out to References Needed, our amazing
Yes.
Chrono Dragon.
Oh my God.
Always, we love you, References Needed. You continue to blow us away with your generosity and kindness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
Thank you, everyone,
for being
for
here.
joining us
Yeah.
this evening.
you.
Thank you for our watchers who come every week. Thank you for our Patreons. Thank you for those who have donated so kindly of your time and your money. We really appreciate it. Without all of you, this would not be possible.
And thank you
So-
to Michael and Erica again.
Yes.
I can't say it enough times. We hope to
Thank
have you
you.
back. You were
Oh,
so
yeah.
wonderful.
Anytime.
Thank you so much for
Well,
having us.
We're
I
a
think-
weird tornado to wrangle sometimes,
Yeah.
so I really appreciate it.
All
What
good.
D&D party is it?
Good point.
True. I think Michael is actually going to be a special guest.
Yes.
The cooldown.
Join us on the cooldown on Monday.
That's
Perhaps
right.
Mr. Michael Sinclair II will be joining.
Naming
Yes.
crayons for an hour.
You know, I trained with Marines, so you also have to eat crayons like Marines. So you're good. It's good.
Fascinating. Fascinating.
You eat crayons.
And we'll see you back here next Wednesday for episode 101. Yeah, I still need
People
to
look
find
out
out.
this weekend for some new merch drops.
Oh, that's
In time for the holidays.
I don't even know what's coming. I need to read the updates. No, but we love you all. Thank you so much. Ron, take us out.
As always, humankind.
Be both.
You're doing great, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny. R.I.P.
Rip. Rest in peace.
It started. It started. It started. Started. As a simple dungeon run. As a simple dungeon run.